Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the Saturday Divisions League phase in the NRL Season 6. Now, round 1 exploded into life with 2 intense races from both divisions with a whole host of shake-ups and surprises. Will there be any comebacks from disappointments in the first round, or will it be business as usual from the top drivers in what could be a crucial round in the championship? We will find out very shortly, but before we do, it's time to introduce myself, Floor Genius Gaming, as well as the wonderful duo joined alongside me, T-Case and Tatty. Firstly, good afternoon, T-Case. Thank you for joining me and hope you are looking forward to today's events.
Oh, I am very much looking forward to today's events, Flawed. Great to be back in the booth after that week off. It felt like an eternity. But getting into the racing last night, I had a blast watching and chatting along with everybody and can't wait to get down onto the racetrack here today.
And secondly, Tatty, great to have you back. Hopefully you've enjoyed your 2-week break. And what are you looking forward to today?
Hey, Flawed. Of course, I enjoyed the break always, but I definitely missed the racing. And today, I look forward to the spa race. I think that the car is that car in combo is going to be very interesting. It's not easy to drive, and I'm looking forward to see how the Division 8 drivers handle it.
Yes, indeed. We will find out very shortly. But before we get started, it is important to shout out our sponsors for the NRL Season 6, as without their support, none of this would be possible. So firstly, a thank you to Dumb Guys Do Racing. This high-octane weekly podcast is where 4 drivers from the PDX Sim team take you inside the world of motorsport and sim racing. From breaking news to heated debates, wild stories to pro tips, these guys cover it all with passion, with humour, and just the right amount of chaos. For your podcast fix, these are available on all the platforms with new weekly episodes dropped every Monday. We are also sponsored by Henke's Tavern in the beautiful Old Town Florissant, St. Louis. Whether you're a local or just passing through, Henke's is the place with unbeatable food, cold drinks, and a patio perfect for catching the NRL in action. So grab some friends, head to Henke's and tell them the NRL sent you. Open late till 1 a.m. because if you ain't first, you're still welcome at Henke's Tavern. We're also sponsored by Little J CPA, turning streams and side hustles into smart money moves. Whether you're building a small business, growing a brand, or cashing in on streaming income, we'll help you track earnings, maximize deductions, and keep more of what you've worked for. You focus on building, we handle the numbers. We are also sponsored by Lithograph Comics, a true comic book fanatic, historian, and lifelong collector. From epic pickups to rare grails, Lithograph Comics shares the passion and the journey with fans everywhere. Check out his collection and stories, and don't forget to scan the QR code to dive into his world. Also introducing the Mist Chronicles trilogy books, written by Lawrence Brown, or Tusenbox as he's known online, a swordsman turned wanderer as he's pulled into an epic struggle that could save or destroy the world. The trilogy is available now on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle. And once again, thank you to all our amazing sponsors for the whole of NRL Season 6. Okay, so with the nitty-gritty now out of the way, let's introduce our first race for today, round 2 of Saturday Division B. So we are heading over to Switzerland near the Alps for the visit of the iconic Deep Forest reverse layout in this Saturday Division B race. Track length is 2.64 miles, featuring a total of 18 corners. There will be a 10-minute qualifier ahead of a 21-lap race. They'll be driving the GR Supra 2019 Group 4 car with a max power of 394 brake horsepower at 5,800 RPM, weighing in at 3,042 pounds in this turbocharged front-engined rear-wheel drive car. It'll be a grid start for the drivers with a tyre wear set to ×4 and a fuel consumption rate at ×3. Speaking of fuel, there is a 3 litre a second refill rate with quite a short pit lane. The cars are set to its default stock settings with BOP enabled, with just brake balance to be able to be tweaked. Tyres available for the drivers are the racing softs and mediums, with none set to mandatory, meaning strategy is open in this race. Okay, so TKs, can you explain to us the points format going into this race, please?
Absolutely. Here at the NRL, we do follow the F1 point system. So the race winner will get 25 points, second place 18 points, third place 15 points, and then it goes down in increments there all the way to P10. So the top 10 will get points, and there will be 1 point awarded for fastest lap, but they have to be in the top 10. So if a top 10 driver gets a fastest lap, that's an extra point for them. And then the top 14 drivers overall in the divisions after round 3 will move on to the finals.
Thank you, TK. And Tati, if you can read us the driver lineup for this Saturday Division B race, please.
Absolutely. So we've got Nuke with Sector 7 Racing up with 28 points. Those are actually their standings next to them. I'll go ahead and read that as well. In second place behind him, you've got SRP's Mr. Racing 40 with 21 points. And I'm sorry, that's Full Speed Racing is who Mr. Racing is with. Caper is in third with 18 points. PHG Arrow with Papa's House of Game in fourth with 12 points. In fifth, you've got Pelias Pangolin with Beehive Racing with 10 points. And then Digital Relays in sixth, he's a free agent with 8 points. In seventh, another free agent, Root, has 7 points. BHR Johnny Boys in eighth with 6 points. Racer DM sits in ninth place with 3 points. In 10th, we've got VIP Ace GT with 3 points as well. Angry Fredbird is in 11th there with 2 points. And Island Grown is a free agent in 12th place with 1 point. Old Man Pip sits in 13th with 0 points. And then you've got RTS Bandit in 14th, also with 0 points right now.
And also, please do check out their YouTube or Twitch profiles applicable for them, and make sure that you check them out, give them that support, but keep a tab open for us in the NRL so you don't miss any of the racing action. Okay, so before we dive into tonight's action, we want to take a moment to celebrate someone who meant a lot to the PHG and the NRL families, Susan. So Susan wasn't just part of the PHG community, she helped build it. She was always cheering them on, keeping the good vibes rolling, and she's the reason Papa ever hit that go live button. She brought laughter, love, and heart to PHG, and that energy will always stay with them. If you would like to support Papa and the Bow family, we have a GoFundMe QR code in the bottom left-hand corner, so please do donate if you can. Every little helps. Your support will go a long way and will be hugely appreciated. So that was the tribute lap in remembrance of Susan, led by our T-Case in the safety car and supported by our Division B drivers running in formation to signify our love for Susan and the family. So tonight we race, we laugh and game with Susan in our hearts. This one's for you, Susan. Thank you for everything. So someone I know that is close to PHG, to Papa and Susan, T-Case, I'd like to pass over the mic to you to share your thoughts, please.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much, Vlad, for your kind words. You really summed it up well. For those of you who don't know, Susan, is PHG. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of the PHG community for a couple of years now, and I've gotten to know Susan and Papa as well. And two super kind people, always encouraging you to get out there, do your best, and have fun. She loved watching good racing. She loved watching people hanging out and having a good time. And I'm happy that we're able to do this in her honor. Really great. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have become an NRL host if it weren't for Papa and Susan. That's how I found out about this in the first place, was in one of Papa's streams, and the encouragement from them to get involved definitely played a huge part. So happy to get racing here now. With our thoughts on Susan as they mourn her loss, but also celebrate the amazing life that she had.
Yes, indeed. You brought up a great point there. It's important to cherish the life of Susan, but also do it in the best respect possible, really. And that is the NRL way of racing and doing her proud. So yeah, we have got a race coming up very, very shortly. It is Deep Forest. It is in its reverse layout. We're in the Toyota Supra Group 4 2019 car. And yeah, Tati's, be nice to get your thoughts on this particular combo. This is your kind of run-of-the-mill daily race. What kind of challenges, what as a driver yourself, Tati, how would you approach this race?
You're right. This is a pretty common sort of combination, right? That, yeah, you would see in a daily race or an open lobby of someone who likes to explore the reverse layouts. But I think that's what makes this race dangerous and hard. I hope everyone practice, because this is sort of our bread and butter in this game, at least most drivers. And so everyone's going to be really, really good. Deep Forest Reverse presents its own challenges as far as flow goes. I know we talked about that middle sector being really tough to get through side by side, and I do expect to see a lot of close racing, because again, everyone here is probably going to be pretty great at this race, and so drivers are going to want to be careful, not slow themselves down too much, and not crash into those very close walls.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, TK, it'll be good to get your thoughts really on how do you approach this race? Do you go all out on the soft tyres? Because we know that the strategy is completely open for the drivers. So do you just kind of stick to the stickiest of tyres, the racing soft tyres, or do you take that kind of strategic approach and maybe run the mediums as long as possible?
Well, hopefully these drivers took advantage of the week off that we had and really put in some practice time, because I'm anxious to see how this plays out with the strategy, because I do think there is a play there to be extra clever and maybe gain a few positions with strategy. And like Tati was saying, this is a pretty normal Gran Turismo 7 combo. So I think some of the drivers who maybe have struggled so far, we might see them make a pretty big leap here and do well, just because this is something a little more familiar than, let's say, RAV4's driving in a B shape.
Yeah, obviously, very different style of race, and probably a welcome addition for the drivers here that are sort of getting back to their kind of normal race cars. But certainly somebody that did take last round's race to aplomb was S7R Nuke. Now, he grabbed the first position from round one. with an excellent performance from him. So he is sitting pretty at the top of the Division B standings. And we'll see, in terms of GT7 as a whole, this being the bread and butter of racing, Group 4s at Deep Forest Raceway Reverse. We'll see how S7R Nuke can perform here. Will it be a lot closer between the grid? Who knows? We will find out. Certainly in qualifying here, we've got a 10-minute qualifier ahead of a 21-lap race here at Deep Forest Reverse. So S7R Nuke will be the first driver to come across the line very shortly. So we'll see what sort of times he can produce. But, we know he's a fast driver. We know that he was quite disappointed, really, not to, originally qualify into the top division. But he's got a job to do here, and as he comes across the start finish line now, he sets a banker lap of a 1 minute 34.412. So very, very impressive from Nuke for his first lap as the times come rolling through, and still sits pretty at the top with a route promoted up into P2. But we ride on board with a digital relay, currently P6, but we've still got 6 minutes left of quali and a long way ahead of us. But TKs, what have you noticed so far in qualifying?
These drivers are not giving anybody any space. that's what I'm noticing. You got like 8 cars, and yes, this does have a very long straight, so there is an advantage of slipstream. But that middle sector is not good to be around other cars around there. So I'm pretty surprised as we see Old Man Pip going purple at the end of that train there. I'm surprised that they're all this close together. I was not expecting that.
Indeed. Well, the tyre wear is quite high. So the tyre wear is at ×4. So it could be the case that the drivers maybe putting in 2 hot laps, coming back into the pits, changing onto them tyres. But Tati, just need to ask you, really, I mean, the time's pretty close. We can see the top 7 are separated by 9/10 of a second. Is this the way that you expected it to go in qualifying?
I think so, and I think those times are going to get a little bit tighter, especially now that people are going to have a couple of banker laps under their belts. And I think that was VIP someone.
HGT.
HGT just went off there in turn 1. Gotta still be careful in these group 4s. They're definitely less powerful than the group 3s, but they can still do that.
Yes, they can indeed. And luckily, where HGT lost it on the final corner just before the pit lane, so he's able to get back into the pits, repair the damage, put on a new set of tyres as well. But yeah, currently running in P4, so it's a good opening stint from Ace GT. Of course, maybe was one of them drivers that we mentioned about being slightly disappointed with his performance in the last round, able to make amends for this one, and particularly one of them drivers as well was Island Grown as well, currently P3 in this qualifying session. He is currently just under 2/10 of a second down on pole sitter S7R Nuke, so a 1 minute 34.6 for him so far. Yeah, he really does need to make this round count, because so far he's only picked up that 1 solitary point, currently finds himself in 12th position for the Saturday Division B. So yeah, he will have to make sure that this time he makes this count, get some good points on the table to put him in a good chance going into the final round of the league phase come next week. But yeah, we've got was it just over 3 minutes remaining in qualifying. Any other kind of like movers and shakers up the grid, TKs?
A lot of drivers are currently on their outlap, and we just saw a driver go into the pits, Island Grown back into the pits. I'm on board with Caper right now. He's just starting his hot lap and has some slipstream. it's looking right now that Nuke, Root, and Island have that top 3 locked in, but I wouldn't be surprised if Digital Relay manages to put something on, as we see his live stream there in the picture-in-picture. Digital Relay is a fast driver, but he has a lot of traffic ahead of him as he starts his flying lap.
Right, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, anything can happen in the final embers of this qualifying session, and certainly if round 1 was anything to go by, quite a few surprises at the top end of the timing charts. Mr. Racing, though, of course, grabbed an excellent second position in his debut race for NRL. Currently finds himself in P5, so looking to keep up that fine early form that he's displayed so far. Yeah, he's currently about half a second down on pole sitter S7R Nuke, so his fastest lap time is a 1 minute 34.926, as we saw Angry Fredbird improve by a few tenths there. T-Case?
Indeed, Angry Fredbird up in the P10 on another flying lap, and let's see if Mr. Racing here, as he comes around this final turn, where is he able to finish on this lap? Because, well, he will get one more lap in this one as he drops down a position, but then moves back up, back into P5. So Ace tried to make something happen there, but Mr. Racing said, no, this is mine. P5 is mine. Let's see if we can do better.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because PhD Caper moves himself up into P3 with a 1 minute 34.482, so 7 hundredths of a second down on S7R Nuke. So we can see how close these times are. I mean, we are talking about less than a tenth of a second, Tati.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and then we're almost at the end here, but the cars are even lighter, fuel use is on, and so the cars feel better. You've got this big slipstream chain here just building energy and giving each other speed, and so I think it's really going to come down to the wire, especially once this gaggle crosses the line here, and then we still got a few drivers behind them. I don't know. No one is safe. Let's just say that.
Yes, well, I mean, looking on board with PhD Caper, I mean, he was 4 tenths purple in Sector 1. He has lost a little bit of time, perhaps because he's got traffic in front of him, but still 2 tenths purple through Sector 2. So can he carry this speed through to the checkered line as Root goes a little bit sideways? And he does lose control of his car. Lucky Capo not collected into it, but comes across the line, goes quicker, but is half a tenth down on S7R Nuke. TKs.
Yeah, that would have been pole position had Nuke not put in an absolute flyer of a lap with a 134.274. He put that in just before Caper went across the line, so that allowed him to stay on pole position, but very beneficial for Caper for Root to kind of fall away like that, because I believe based on the two of them driving together, Root was on for a purple lap as well, and so Root getting out of the way, not intentionally, but getting out of the way as he did, definitely helped Caper out there.
Yes, it did, and certainly, you know, just looking at the times, very, very tight, certainly between the top 3, but actually even between the top 10, where we are talking, you know, barely a second. So it does mean that this is going to be very, very tight, and it could come down to strategy, I think, here, Tete.
Yeah, it could come down to strategy, and there are actually 2 different strategies that are pretty viable, and it's going to come down to driver skill and a little bit of luck of the draw. But you know, we're going to see some people try a no stopper. We're going to see 2 stoppers. There are 2 tire types available. I'm really excited about this with the close times.
Well, something I didn't actually noticed was Nuke actually went 100th purple to come across the line, so extends his very narrow margin to PhD Caper to, what was it, nearly 600th of a second. So yeah, very, very tight, but certainly going to be very excited ahead of this race because I think there could be a lot of drama to follow. I think TKs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because the times are so close. You have to go all the way down to P13 to get over a second from the leader. All the way to P12 is just under 9/10. So that is tight, and that's where the strategy comes into play. A lot of times people who are starting towards the back want to start on the slower tire, let's put the medium on to start with and see what happens. But with the times this close, that's going to be a huge disadvantage starting on the slower tire. So I am anxious to see what these people start on and how they try to manage this, because it is going to be tight. And this track, specifically this layout going in reverse, that kink before the hairpin is so tricky, and everybody's going to be on cold tires, heavy on the brakes. Hopefully we don't see any chaos, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But before we get to the start of the race, we'll just read out the classified results from quali in Saturday round 2 of Division B. So pole position goes to S7R Nuke with that 1 minute 34.264, just in front of PHG Caper, who finished, as I said, just under 600th of a second down on him in P2. They'll be starting on row 1. Row 2 will be Root with his 1 minute 34.434. 2,000th quicker than SRP Mr. Racing, who'll be starting in P4. Then in P5, good to see Island Grown up there with his 1 minute 34.6. In P6, it'll be Digital Relay starting alongside him from row 3. On row 4, we've got VIP Ace GT with BHR Police Pango, of course, reigning champion of Division B. P9 is Racer DM, and RTS Bandit will be starting alongside him from row 5. Row 6 will be PHG Arrow starting from P11, and Old Man Pip starting alongside him in 12th position. And then on row 7, we've got Angry Fredbird starting from P13, and joining him alongside him will be BHR Johnny Boy at the back of the grid in P14. But yeah, certainly as we looked at the whole grid, 1.3 seconds separating the whole grid. Absolutely insane, Tete.
Yeah, we said that it would be close, right? We thought that it would, and here we are with the proof. So now it's time to put it in. It's GR4, so door banging is possible. Dirty air doesn't affect these guys as much at this track, so it should be nice, fun, tight racing.
Yeah, it really should be. And TK's, anything you're anticipating ahead of this race?
You know what? I think something that we didn't touch on is track limits here can be a little bit tricky, especially in that middle sector. It's really easy to pick up a penalty, and here the penalty line is on a very long straight, and with these Group 4 cars, they're a little underpowered. So getting a penalty can really hurt you and cause you to kind of fall out of that slipstream. So these drivers definitely are going to need to keep it between the white lines.
Okay, and I did hear that there was a donation that came up in chat. Is that correct, TK?
I have not seen anything, but it looks like we're going to be underway.
Yes, we will be. Okay, so as we await the 5 red lights, we await the start of round 2 of Division B. Saturday's lights are out, and away we go. And we got Spinner in the background. I can't see exactly who it was. Was it Racer DM? I'm not 100% sure. We may need to get a replay at the start. But S7R New gets a great start ahead of PHG Caper, who's all over it. His back bumper. Root is trying to fight off SRP Mr. Racing, trying to hold on for that 3rd position, who just about sweeps in front of him as we go into the braking zone for the hairpin. And there could be a few moves of shaking. It looks like BHR Police Pango's moved up 2 positions. Digital Relay up 1 position as well. Racing DM up 1 position. Island Grown, I think it was Island Grown that didn't get the best of starts, all the way down into P8. Root also down in P5 as we approach the hairpin here, who is the latest of the late breakers. Looks like the drivers have got through reasonably cleanly as we go a line astern through the technical section of the circuit. Yeah, it's looking rather close towards the back. 3 abreast I saw in the background between Angry Fredbird, Ace, and somebody else there. I think it was Arrow. Yeah, very, very close at the start of this race, TKs.
Yeah, very, very close. Arrow actually jumped the start, so that's what caused that kerfuffle in the background. You see Arrow's way out of his position, as well as Island Grown, causing Ace to go into the back of him. Amazing that they were all able to keep going, and I'm not seeing any damage, so that is good. And yes, you were correct. We did get a donation, $4.99 from the Crawler. Big thank you to Crawler. We appreciate you. But yeah, things are popping off. Angry Fredbird does have a half-second penalty, so it's already getting spicy, and we're just on lap 2.
Okay, and in terms of tires then, TKs, anything you've noticed? I mean, I think it looks like the top 3 are on medium tires, but is there any other drivers on like different strategies right now?
Yeah, it's a good mix, actually. Yes, the top 5 are all on mediums, and then Racer DM is on the softs. Bandit is on the softs. Plies Pango on the mediums. Ace on the softs. Arrow on the softs. Island on the mediums. Old Man Pip on the mediums. Johnny Boy on the softs, and Angry Fredbird on the softs. So a very good mix of tire strategies going on right here.
Right, okay, well, we got side by side between Digital Relay and Root. Relay just holding on to that 4th position ahead of Root as we come into this long left-hander. And Bandit tried to go up the inside of Racer. And he puts him into the wall with the domino effect there, and this, well, almost curtains for Racer DM, Tati.
Oh, man, yeah, and then this long turnaround with the traction control on. He can't just whip it around there. I think he got some help from Bandit a little bit. It's hard there because you're already on the edge. It's very easy to oversteer anyway. And if anyone's leaning on you even a little bit, leaning on that back fender, you might go around. I couldn't tell if there was a touch. There's also just excitement, right? You see Bandit coming up. You want to make sure he doesn't beat you into the next corner. He might have just got on the throttle too soon. One or the other happened there.
Yeah, it was a very unfortunate incident there. We did notice that Racer DM left the door open for Bandit to slip up the inside, but then I don't know, it was a little bit clumsy, probably between both of them, to be fair, but Racer DM was the one to lose out there. But as we go through the tunnel section now, we've got side-by-side action between BHR, Police Pango, and VIP Ace fighting it out for that 7th position. Pango's got a nose in front, but Ace has got the inside line as we go into the braking zone. And it's looking like VIP Ace is going to move up into P7. And here comes PHG Arrow as well on the inside, moves up into P8. Police Pango down 2 positions in 1 corner, TKs.
Wow, what a roller coaster. I mean, we saw Polias move up so much at the start of this race, and then one driver gets up the inside, that allows another, and they're continuing at it with Root and VIP Ace, as Bandit had gotten by Root there. So a lot of battling back and forth and side-by-side racing during part of a track that isn't very good, as they go 3 wide into the final turn. Late on the brakes is Ace up ahead, Arrow on the inside, and Root kind of sandwiched there in the middle. Who's gonna get out ahead? It looks like Ace is able to maintain that P6 as we see Polias Pango now trying to make a move on Island Grown. My goodness, it does not stop.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. 3 abreast coming in. Oh, it's turned into 2 because VIP Ace cuts the nose of Root as we went to the right, to the left. RTS Bandit up into P5 as mentioned as well. VIP Ace is going to hold off the 2 drivers, but PSG Arrow on the inside of Root trying to grab that position away from him. But I think they're going to be side by side, or maybe line astern now, as Root does take that 7th position, or hold on to it at least, with Arrow just behind Pango Pango just behind Arrow in P9, and a gaggle of cars behind as well, challenging if an opportunity does arise from this. As we go into the braking zone now, they're going to be three abreast, and it's going to be tight. Arrow around the outside holds it on the outside to stay in seventh, but Polite Pango's got the inside line to Root, and well, they're still going to be side by side as we go through the tunnel to the left hand. And Root's going to have the inside line, so he should be able to hold on to P8, and yes, he does. And Island Grown lurking in the background, trying to sweep up if Pango gives him an opportunity. And Island Grown does go through into P9, Pango down into P10, and again about 3 cars just behind as well. So positions up for grabs on lap 4 here, TKs.
Yeah, I mean, what is going on? It's like musical chairs or something like that. Everybody's just, you get a position, I'll take that one back, you can have this one, here you go, thank you, and let's keep on going. But amazingly clean, all things considering, going 4 wide, 3 wide, closing the door on each other. I mean, this is good racing. I think, Tati, you alluded to it at the start of this. This is a more traditional Gran Turismo race, and we're seeing how that plays out, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, that right there, that 3 wide and 4 wide in the corners and still making it out without touching doors, that is straight up familiarity. They know this track. They know how these cars handle on this track. They're able to, keep them controlled, pirouette on literally a rail as you do. I don't know how you go 3 wide in this corner, but we saw it. It happened. It's documented on the internet now.
Yes, indeed, and it's definitely all chopping and changing throughout the grid. I think, did he just serve his penalty? So I know he had a half-second penalty. So holding on to P5 for the time being, kind of in the middle of P4 and P6 there, as we look on board with PSG Arrow, who's trying to fend off Root and Island Grown for company. Of course, Arrow on the racing soft tyres. So he's looking to sort of charge away and try and catch up with the likes of VIP Ace GT in P6, but the gap is just under 3 seconds. As Root goes a little bit wide, you don't want to be doing that, Root, because we know what happened last time. But this time was able to keep the car stable and to fight to live another day. But yeah, certainly for many of the drivers out there, this race is very, very important. As we look on Arrow, he has gained 12 points, so solid start to the season, looking to build on that. As Root goes up the inside with the latest of late breakers and moves up into P7 with a textbook overtake there, Tati.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. I mean, he was already gaining up the hill, but I extremely late on the brakes. Very tidy in the corner though, but Root qualified in this thing third. He's just had a bad start, but clearly he's got pace on him. Arrow's coming back on him in the slip here, but he's got the inside for this corner. I think Root is going to make this pass stick here, but Arrow not giving it up. Obviously, I thought we were going to see a little bit of a switchback there. Nothing doing. Root just stays up ahead of him. Arrow's right on his bumper though.
Root is on the medium tires, so he is definitely on a different strategy than Arrow here. So that'll definitely come into play. I'm looking at these drivers and seeing the medium tire wear is not bad at all. So the no stop, I think, is a viable option. We'll see what happens, but they're definitely going to have to not get into too many battles here with these soft runners.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, we didn't even really speak about the strategy. So in testing, basically, there were 2 strategies that could come into play here. So I kind of worked out that it could be a one-stopper, racing softs and softs, with was it 11 and 10 laps on the softs, or the no stopper is a viable strategy here. 21 laps on the medium tires. Of course, they will be a little bit sketchy towards the end of the stint, but the drivers should be able to max out the fuel tank on 21 laps without refilling. As all PSG Arrow doesn't get the best of exit goes a bit squibbly on the exit. That means Root is going to have the overspeed as we come down the straight through the tunnel, moves up into P7. Arrow is going to have to tuck in back into P8, but Island Grown is lurking here in the background, just 2.5 tenths down as we go into the braking zone. Arrow is going to size up an opportunity, but Root does cover it off for the time being, so still will settle in P8 with Island Grown really sniffing the exhaust of Arrow's car in front. And obviously, yeah, we still got Island Grown. Polites Pango also not too far behind in 10th position with a similar strategy. So they're looking to sort of trying to hold on to the slipstream in front and hope that the medium tyres do come into play as Arrow's tyres do fall off a cliff. We're on lap 7 of 21. So if Arrow is going to go for the one stopper, probably will look to change off of them soft tyres in the next few laps, TKs.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Probably kind of split it right down the middle if he can, if he's doing soft. I'm surprised that there isn't as big of a pace advantage here on the softs. These medium tire runners, especially the 4 out front between Nuke and Digital Relay, P1 through 4, they're, you know, line astern just getting it done, while Bandit here and Ace GT are fighting it out, trying to catch them. And look at the fronts of Ace's tires there. They are halfway worn, which is going to make these heavy braking zone hard turns a little bit difficult, but he is going to go for that move up the inside of Bandit. Plenty of space is given as they come out of the tunnel. Late on the brakes, you can see Bandit there in the background, can't perform a switcheroo, and Ace is going to take that P5 off of him. And next up, Digital Relay.
Yeah, and indeed with the soft runners, they really do need to push the tyres as much as possible, hoping that they don't get stuck in traffic and get held up here to make their strategy work. And obviously, you could say that with the medium runners, but obviously it's about kind of conserving them tyres and hoping that they've got enough grip at the end of their stint or even at the end of the race. So,
oh, what was that?
Do you want to explain that?
Dirt.
Yeah, that's what that was.
If you would like to explain what happened there, Tati, hopefully we'll get on the replay here.
Yeah, I think we'll need a replay. So we're with Bandit here following HCT through the S's, and we're gonna... Oh, he disconnected. That must be what happened. That explains it, because they got towards the last turn and it seemed like he just went straight. Like his left wheels got caught in the grass on the left there, but it sounds like his connection ended, unfortunately.
Oh.
So that will be the end of Bandit's race here. He was running pretty well on those softs, I think, right?
Indeed, he has fastest lap, a 1:35.084 currently. That is unfortunate.
That is too bad. Oh, it's nice to see Polites Pango up in 8th. I think he must be one of those going for the no stopper, because in the beginning we saw him lose a ton of positions. He's just taking it easy, just widening out those corners. So see him in top 10 is nice.
Yes, indeed. I think this is where the medium runners do start coming into play here. Island Grown looks like he's on a very similar strategy as well in P7. The tyre wear, look, we know with the tyre wears, once it gets beyond that sort of halfway mark, that's when they start to fall off a cliff. So we are approaching that kind of halfway mark of the race. So I think they're in contention here, but of course Mr. Racing certainly one that is in contention, because he is also on the medium tyres, currently P3, 2.6 seconds down on S7R Nuke. It seems like they're running pretty comfortably at the top end of the grid. And quite spaced out as well, but certainly it only takes one mistake, and other drivers can be brought into play here. But as we go into the hairpin for the 10th time of asking, no dramas between second of PhD Caper and SRP Mr. Racing in 3rd position. So they are a line astern at the moment. But yeah, TK's just looking at the grid at the moment. Is there any key battles that you can see out there?
Well, we were about to have one for P9 between Old Man Pip and Arrow, but Old Man Pip ended up with a penalty, just served that. That gave Arrow a little bit of breathing room, but we can see these soft runners are going to need to pit soon. Those fronts are donezo. And I am surprised. Digital Relay was a lot closer to Mr. Racing early on, but he's fallen back almost 2 seconds, while Mr. Racing has gained a little bit on Caper. So far, everybody's kind of single file, but battles are about to pop off as we approach the pit window, and we see Mr. Racing here gaining on P2 of PHG Caper.
Yes, indeed. And it's just really a case of, when do we push? When do we reserve our pace? Try to save them tires. As I said, fuel, I don't think will be an issue. In fact, with these cars, they're turbocharged, so perhaps not as bad as the Super in the Group 3 class, but certainly in the Group 4 class, the power band suggests that you should be changing the gear just before it starts kind of hitting the rev limiter. So sort of before it starts flashing is the optimal line of changing your gears. But yeah, certainly very, very consistent between Caper and Mr. Racing. Looking at the lap delta, I mean, there's barely a tenth between each lap. You're looking at 35.4s, 35.6s, 35.8s, and 35.7 on the last lap as he goes actually purple through sector 1. So certainly a man on a mission, Tati.
Yeah, seeing purple. I mean, he's got the slipstream, but of course, our last fastest lap was set by someone on the softs, but it does seem like the mediums are coming alive. Nice balance here as we see a battle between Root and Island Grown going into the corner after the back straight, I guess is what we'll call it. These corners don't have names, of course, and it continues on. Root coming alongside Island Grown as they enter the S's. Island Grown tries to make space for himself in that spot, but Root does leave it for him, but only just enough to survive. And Root will ultimately lose out the position as Island stayed tenacious and kept the inside for the next corner. But I don't think he's safe yet. I'm going to pass it back to you, Flawed.
It's certainly door-to-door action, and Ireland able to survive that moment as he holds on to P6, but he goes a little bit deep through the corner and Root gets a better exit. However, okay, surprisingly, Ireland Grown and Root coming into the pits on the medium tyres. I didn't expect that, T-Case.
I did not expect that either. That is quite shocking, and I am anxiously awaiting to see what tire they come out on. Are they going to do a medium? They seemed very comfortable on those mediums, but maybe they're going to do the final stint with a car with only half a tank of fuel on the softs. I'm looking at Island right now. He's coming out of the pits, and no, he stayed on the medium. However, Root bolted on the soft, so that's going to be a difference in strategy there between the two Canadians.
I expected it. I know that not everyone is good at tire management, and especially, it's easier said than done practicing in a lobby with just you and like a couple of buddies maybe, and getting into the race with all the traffic around you, and you get a little bit heated, you go deeper into corners, trying to keep position, and I think some people never planned on running a no stopper. That is reserved for the elite tire whisperers, even on the mediums, I think.
So are you saying I am the tire whisperer, Tati?
I believe, Claude, that I did indeed just declare it for the world, verbatim, that you are the tire whisperer.
Well, thank you very much, Tati. Yeah, it's nice to get these compliments, and to be honest, you are correct. Yeah, depending on situations, whether you're on a controller, whether you're on a wheel, and obviously depending on your inputs, does determine how well you can save them tires. And who am I to say maybe Island Grown Root maybe feeling a bit more confident in their pace, in their consistency, being on the medium tires and having fresh tires. And that as well as Island Grown goes a little bit squirrely out the exit, nearly cursed him there, but did manage to hold on to it. But he will lose a little bit of time to Root, who is just behind. He will be in that slipstream, so that gap will come dwindling down as we go down this flat out section up the hill towards the hairpin. The gap has come down to roughly about 0.6 of a second as we approach the braking zone for the 13th time of asking. And can Island Grown get a good exit? Goes quite wide, but I think he just about kept it within track limits there to hold on to P8, but certainly very close between the two drivers there, TKs.
There's not much between them, and they are again on two different tire compounds, so going to be interesting to see if Root is able to, bring those softs all the way to the end. Island will be very comfortable on those mediums come lap 20, lap 21, but I don't know how Root's going to feel going forward as he cuts those corners. And it's like I said, abusing these track limits is definitely key to having a fast lap here, but we've already seen several half-second penalties handed out, causing some issues. As Root goes purple, he is absolutely flying on those softs. He just has to remember he's got to make them last to the end of the race.
Yes, he does indeed. Well, so yeah, just looking at the grid at the moment then, I'm just looking at the mini-map just to see if there's any key battles going on at the moment. But it's going to be interesting to see how the soft runners are doing. But obviously, we're looking at Island Grown and Root. Root is actually on the soft tyres here, so Root should be quicker than Island Grown at this stage, and he really needs to take full advantage of the maximum grip here as the gap has come down to about 0.4 of a second as we do approach the hairpin again, and it should be better on the brakes and on the traction out of the corner. And he definitely looks more comfortable, but not quite taking full advantage there. Or maybe Island Grown just doing a fantastic job on them medium tires. But certainly we've got a battle brewing up at the back end of the grid with Angry Fredbird leading this train of cars. Old Man Pip just behind in P11, and then BHR Johnny Boy at the back of this train, but he's going to have that double slip. He's also on the soft tires, so he's got a good run on Old Man Pip as he sends it on the inside, and he makes the move up into P11. Now he's going to be chasing down Angry Fredbird for that 10th position, Tati.
Wow, I didn't think he was going to stop in time. The perspective there made it seem like he was going to overrun the corner, but clearly, what do I know? Obviously, Johnny Boy is a master on the brakes, apparently, or the Super has better brakes than I thought. But yeah, tidy move, maybe a little bit squirrely on the brakes. That might be down to brake bias, though I don't think we're allowed to have brake bias in this league. So he was lucky not to lose it. I thought he was going left for a moment there.
Brake balance is allowed to be tweaked for the group cars, just not for the road cars. So, so with the Supra, what is your observation of the GR Supra in the Group 4 car, Tati? Because we know that the Supra in the Group 3 class tends to be, they kind of changed the balance of power a little bit, but it tends to be a pretty powerful car. But I think quite the opposite for the Group 4 cars.
I haven't driven the Group 4 car in a while, but I remember it being kind of surprisingly nimble because at the time, at least, the Group 3 car rather, was kind of a pig. It was very fast in a straight line, and when I say pig, that's not fair because it wasn't like meat-headed by any means. You could turn it, but it was known for being a straight line car, whereas this one was a little bit easier to drive. But it has been a while for me, honestly.
Well, I think as far as I know, it's always been a great handling car. Maybe not the fastest in a straight line, but certainly good on its tyres. But speaking of tyre wear, so the front runners right now, S7R Nuke is leading the race by 2.8 seconds over PHG Caper that we're looking at the moment. But he has got Mr. Racing just behind him, who is trying to claw back the difference. The gap is 0.9 of a second. Of course, they're all on the medium tyres. And actually, Digital Relay, not too far behind either. 1.7 seconds is the gap between him and Mr. Racing for P3 and 4, respectively. This is the kind of zone in the race where we spoke about the no stopper. These drivers are clearly going for the no stopper here. And you're getting into that window where the tires are starting to fall off a cliff, and it's just about tire saving management really now, trying to sort of preserve them grip levels, so that, you know, maybe you can give that final push on the last kind of like couple of laps. But you have to be so careful, and this is where certainly things are going to get very tasty indeed, TKs.
Yeah, they really are. So P1 through 5 are all on the no stop strategy. After that is VIP HGT, who is on slightly worn softs. He has taken a pit, and he is cutting the gap between himself and Pelias Pango. Just as before we switched over to this, it was at 11 seconds, and now he's at 9.5 and closing. So in these last stages, it's going to be all on Ace, Root, Island, PHG Aero to get a move on their fresher rubber and see if they can't take a few of these top 5 positions away from the no stoppers.
Yeah, well, the gap between Pelias Pango and that driver was about 9 seconds. I was looking at the lap delta, and there was about a second apart between the soft and the medium tires there. But Angry Fredbird, who is still leading in front of Johnny Boy. In fact, Johnny Boy has, and pardon the pun, pipped old man Pip for that P11 so far. Yeah, the gap between Angry Fredbird and Johnny Boy is dwindling down at the moment. It is beneath 0.2 of a second as Angry Fredbird was defending the inside line, switches it back to the outside. Johnny Boy sticking to him like glue. And he has got a good run on him down this long straight as well. Should be able to pick up the slipstream here, but will he make the move on him? Will he get the overspeed as we approach the braking zone? For the 17th time of asking, it looks like Angry Fredbird is going to defend that inside line. If Johnny Boy is going to attempt to move, it's going to be around the outside or maybe the old switcheroo, but Angry Fredbird defends with brilliance there to hold on to that 10th position. But there is certainly quite a lot of battles going on at the moment, and certainly a very exciting battle that is brewing up in the final 4 laps of this race between PHG Caper, SRP Mr. Racing and Digital Relay, fighting it out for that 2nd position. And it's going to be very interesting because you can see with the tire delta right now, them front tires not looking great on Digital Relay, but I would imagine it'll be exactly the same for Mr. Racing and PHG Caper. And this is where maybe mistakes could happen in the final embers of this race, Tati.
Yeah, I mean, those tires are getting pretty sketchy. We have just a few more laps left here, 3 laps left, and you can see the front left tire of Digital Relay looks pretty bad. It's a very crucial tire, and then you have sections like this where you've got to get that front end to bite, to turn, to hold the corner tight so that you can power out of it. But then the rears come into play, and those are pretty worn as well. So this is the time to really tiptoe around this GR4 car, and these drivers are doing a great job at it. Battling will be hard.
Yes, it will be indeed. Well, Digital Relay has got I think probably the closest he's got all race to Mr. Racing then, as we come out the final corner to end lap 18 and onto 19. He's got a really good run here, actually. He's going to have that slipstream, and particularly as we sort of go up and then down the hill and then back up the hill, he should have the overspeed. However, he does actually push Mr. Racing on because maybe he's looking at the bigger picture to try and catch up with PSG Caper and try to grab that 2nd position. But as we go into the hairpin now, a very crucial exit for the drivers. They are a line astern, but it does look like Digital Relay, if he's not going to push Mr. Racing, he's got a very good chance of stealing that 3rd position as we get to the end of the tunnel into the braking zone for the hairpin. It's going to be interesting. Is he going to go for the move? Is he going to stay just behind him? It's looking like no, he's going to stay behind him. So with that being said, I mean, I feel like a move will be imminent in the coming lap or so, but TKs, what is going on behind? Is there any other battles going on that we should be paying attention to?
I mean, this obviously is the big one, battling for a podium here between Digital Relay and Mr. Racing, but there is a battle between Island Grown and Root. Island has caught back up to Root. Island being on the medium tires, Root's softs are now worn, and Island has the advantage. And then there is still the three-way battle for P10 between Angry Fredbird, Old Man Pip, and Johnny Boy.
Right, okay. Yeah, so that kind of dynamic where Police Pango on the medium tyres, we know VIP Ace is on the soft tyres. So last time we looked at them, they were 9 seconds apart. Now, Digital Relay, again, he is literally on the back bumper of Mr. Racing. And so far, Mr. Racing is withstanding that pressure, but Digital Relay not making it easy for him as we go into the hairpin again. Very, very important here. And it looks like Mr. Racing has got a really good exit and actually has pulled within the slipstream range of Caper. So Caper is definitely not out of it. And certainly P3 and P4 will be dragged into a bit of a dogfight, fighting for that second position. But yeah, the gaps is starting to widen up between the race leader of S7R Nuke and Caper. So Caper now will be literally, I think, looking in his rear mirrors to try and hold on to that second position, I think, Tatu.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if he's not able to catch up to Nuke and do something about that P1, it might be time to focus on what's going on behind him. Obviously, he hopes that Mr. Racing and Digital Relay will get into a fight, but you saw Digital Relay make the smart move to just bump draft Mr. Racing, and I think that did help get them this much closer for this chance to battle for P2 now.
Yes, indeed, and yeah, certainly I've seen the tyre wear on Caper's car not looking good, so he is clinging to dear life, I think. But we look on board with the drivers just behind Root and Island Grown. They've been fighting tooth and nail for the whole race. Root is leading by just about half a second, but Root's tyre is probably a little bit worse of wear on them dying soft tyres. Island Grown, of course, on the medium tyres here. So at this stage of the race, perhaps Island Grown will have the better grip and the better pace out of his car. His last time was a 1 minute 35.999. In fact, that was Root, actually, not Island Grown, but the gap is 0.3 of a second and closing as we're on the final lap of the race here. And it is all about pride now. It's all about bragging rights. Can Island Grown get the better of Root? He hasn't got much time to do it, but he gets a really good exit. You can see the struggling tyres of Root as we look aboard. Mr. Racing goes sideways, and a slide platform on Mr. Racing. Mr. Racing does back off for the time being. Digital Relay able to collect the car and stay in front to be in P3, but he is under a serious amount of pressure, and that is not going to do him any good with his tyre situation as well as we go through the final corners now, through the technical section. Can he hold on to that third position and see if he can grab a podium or not, as we see S7R New come around the final corner. He's going to win round 2 of Division B in the Saturday NRL what is it, round 6, not round 6, season 6, and Caper P2 and Digital Relay in P3 as I struggled to get my words out there. SRP Mr. Racing comes home in P4 with BHR Polite Pango with an excellent performance. He comes across the line in 5th position, and Ace was able to grab 6th position ahead of Root. Root just finishing in front of Island Grown to finish in P7 and Island Grown in P8. And then PhD Arrow with a very solid display. He will finish in 9th position. And then Angry Fredbird just in front of Old Man Pip. He will grab a top 10 position. Old Man Pip in P11. And Johnny Boy will finish in P12 with Racer DM a little bit further back in P13. But what a fantastic race that was. And what are your thoughts there, TKs?
Yeah, I mean, I wish that was one lap longer because Ace was there. Ace was on it, and he had Polias Pango in his sights. Had they gone one more lap, you can see their Ace with the fastest lap as well. That was fantastic. Good hard racing. Some people were out in no man's land, but the majority of these drivers had somebody in their mirrors or right alongside them the whole race.
Indeed, it was. And I'll get the thoughts of Tati very shortly, but let's just give you the provisional race results from Saturday round 2 in Division B. So S7R Nuke with his second win of the season finishes about 3 seconds in front of PSG Caper. Great to see him back on form, finishes in second position. Then in third position was Digital Relay, did manage to hold on to that car and finish in front of Mr. Racing, with Digital Relay grabbing a podium with Mr. Racing finishing in P4. But we will get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers very, very shortly. It'll be interesting what they have to say. P5 went to BHR Polias Pango ahead of VIP HGT in 6th position. Root grabbed a 7th position ahead of Island Grown with an 8th position. In 9th was PHG Arrow, and in 10th was Angry Fredbird ahead of Old Man Pip in 11th, BHR Johnny Boy in 12th, Racer DM in 13th, and RTS Bandit in 14th. Who was the guy with the fastest lap there?
That was Ace. That was Ace. VIP Ace. He was the top runner on the one-stop strategy and got him that extra point. Almost got him to P5.
Right, okay, so he will grab that extra point for the league. And yeah, Tati, I mean, that was a phenomenal race. We didn't know which way it was going to go, but it drew some great racing action and entertainment for all of us to see.
Yes, it did. And it's exactly what we expected. We thought there'd be a lot of close racing, and there was. Like TK said, some people never got to rest through the entirety of the race, and that's exactly what you want. We want folks hounded all race long. Turns out the no stop was the king strategy. No one stopper penetrated that top 5 that where all those drivers were on the no stop, but you had to be able to do it. Root started in the top 5. He started in 3rd, and he started on those mediums, and he was unable to execute that strat, and ultimately pitted and finished, where he finished.
Okay, so we are going to get the thoughts of the podium finishers, and what a fantastic performance it was from the top 3 drivers. Who are we going to go to first? Okay, we're going to go to our second place. Sorry, was it third place finisher? Sorry, Digital Relay with a fantastic performance and some very nervy thoughts, and towards the back end of the race, was able to hold on to the 3rd position. But how are you feeling after that one?
Good. That was, I feel really good about that. It got a little dicey there. Mr. Racing and I were actually kind of working together there, so we weren't exactly fighting. At the end of, I think it was lap 20, I just got a really good exit and was able to get by him there. But I think we just got a little too close for comfort there. And honestly, I had visions of last or 2 weeks ago, smashing into a wall and watching it all go away.
Yeah, it was a great save from you, because we caught it live in the moment, and she went sideways. And we've seen many a driver lose control of their car, but you managed to save it. You grabbed that 3rd position. But I do want to ask you, so obviously there was a variable of different strategies out there, and like a lot went for the one stopper, whether it was mediums or softs and softs, and you went for the no stopper. So was this always a strategy that you was going to go for, or was it more about kind of the positioning after qualifying that made that decision for you?
Both. So Nuke and I did some practicing, and we really figured that the no stop overall was the fastest time. But there was also a concern of starting on mediums and getting caught in traffic or some sort of drama. So we were a little bit on the fence. So I think when you talk to Nuke, you could ask him that, but he seemed like it was literally a last second decision for me, once I couldn't put down a great qualifying lap, that made it easy for me to start in the middle on the mediums.
Well, it worked out to be the best strategy going forward, because that was a fantastic performance from you. Very exciting end to the race as well, and congratulations to you on that third position. Tati, any thoughts, any questions to our third place finisher?
Yeah, hey, Digital Relay, congratulations on getting P3. It was gorgeously done. I saw it on the picture where you did get that run coming out of the hairpin on lap 20, and by the end of it, I guess you just decided you were on the inside. It got a little sketchy, man. That drift. Do you drift? Do you have practice with
No, I
that?
don't. Not on purpose.
Well, that was fantastic. I saw it was a little bit sandy and it worked out. I did notice that at the end of the lap there, or sorry, after that move, coming sort of out of the S's, it felt like, the car wasn't quite under you and you just kind of barely held on for a bit there. How did it feel, trying to make a pass and trying to hold on to that position like desperately with the tires where they were?
I felt like I had done enough practice that the tires weren't really an issue for me. I felt like I had that under control. I ended up turning TCS on at like lap 17 just to help manage that. And I think getting past Mr. Racing, I felt okay there, and I really had my eyes on Caper. But going through that next section where you go under those two tunnels, he just made contact with me, and then once I went sideways, it really was. I just needed to save not smashing into a wall and throwing the race away. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, I felt pretty good overall. Yep.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations to you on
Thank
P3.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And also, TKs, finally, any thoughts, any questions for Digital Relay?
Yes, sir. First of all, congratulations, Digital Relay. That was awesome. I'm a fan of overtakes, and you started P6 and you got yourself up to the podium. So what was your mindset? You said you didn't have the best qualifying or the qualifying that you wanted, so that kind of firmed your strategy. Were you thinking you were going to be able to move up as much as you did?
Yes, I did. I actually, what I thought once we got into the qualifying session and I saw some of those times start posting, and I realized too that when I had somebody behind me, they were benefiting greatly. So I thought that there was probably 2 or 3 times up there that were greatly draft assisted, and my time was not. So I figured I still had decent pace. And then it really was about um, knowing that those mediums, that was going to be the overall faster strategy. Just stay out of trouble, stay close to Mr. Racing, and break away from the rest of the pack, which luckily happened, fairly quickly, and so I could just kind of keep my eyes forward. And well, it was interesting though, because I thought Caper, because I knew Nuke was fast, and when I saw Caper keeping up with him, I assumed he was on softs until we got to about lap 8, 9, 10, and realized there was no way he's going to make be able to keep that pace on the softs. They would have given up. So then I knew it was going to be a challenge to overtake, to get past P4. But I was pretty content with playing the long game too. And if P4 was where I ended up, I would have been okay with that.
You did a great job, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and Digital Relay, I mean, obviously continuing on your fine start to the championship. So you, grabbing that third position has really put you in a strong position to progress to the finals. So are you feeling confident ahead of round 3 coming up next week?
I'll let you know when I hear the combo.
Good answer. Congratulations on that third place. It was great to see you on fine form today, and yeah, good luck in the next round then.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Thank you, Digital Relay. And on to our second place finisher then. That was Caper, aka Shaunzi. Fantastic performance from you. How are you feeling after that?
I am absolutely ecstatic. I can't believe I got a podium. Can't believe it. I hate that track so much. I can't believe it.
Well, you certainly didn't show it. I mean, it was a very formidable display from you. You looked very comfortable out there. You know, we spoke about the strategies in this race, and yeah, certainly. You know, going for the no stopper is quite a tall order to sort of preserve them tires. Was that always going to be a strategy going into this race?
Yeah, pretty much. I did practice like an alternative strategy, but I knew you need 20 seconds to close the distance with the softs. So, um, and my lap times were decent. I know I could keep it in the 36s, so I figured it was just better option to stay with the mediums if I could and not crash. That was the hard part.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, was there? So, are you saying that there wasn't really too much of a difference between like the softs and the mediums in terms of sort of lap delta?
Well, I mean, I figure if you were 2 seconds faster on the softs, it would have been worthwhile. Then you could make up the time in about 10 laps. But I mean, starting up front, I figured I would just go with the play the long game and hope I didn't crash. Really, um, me and Nuke had a good start. We kind of broke away and had a little gap. So I tried to give him a lot of space going in the hairpin so that we could get a good run. And I managed to hang on for 3 or 4 laps, but then he just drove away from me. And then I was driving in my mirrors and trying not to crash the rest of the race.
Well, it was pretty faultless from you of what I could see there. And even though you was under a little bit of pressure towards the end there, I mean, you managed to keep your composure and hold on to that second position. So congratulations to you, Caper. And again, continuing on your fine start in the NRL Season 6. So congratulations to you. But T-Case, any questions, any thoughts towards Caper's performance today?
Yes, sir, Mr. Caper. Well done. That was an excellent P2, flawless, really. You kind of alluded to what I wanted to ask you, and that was how much of time did you spend driving in your mirrors? Because at one point, Mr. Racing was only 0.3 of a second behind you. I was keeping an eye on how close they were getting, and between him and Digital Relay, it seemed like quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed. So basically, anytime he would get close, I would just make sure I hit my braking marks and be able to give room if he went for an overtake, because I really didn't want to crash because that would just ruin the race. But I mean, he kept closing on me on the back half of the lap, and then I found that after the hairpin, I would just get a little bit of a break, and then he'd come back again. Shout out to him because there was a lot of braking zones where he was out braking me, and he stayed off the back of me, and I was really appreciative of that. I was flashing the 4-ways at him a couple times.
Awesome, man. Well, you did a great job of keeping it cool and holding on to that position. That's a P2 for you in round 2. That's a great way to be at the halfway point of the season.
Thank you.
And finally, Tati, any questions or thoughts to Caper?
Just thoughts and congratulations, Caper. 2 podiums in a row. You're definitely in a good position for the final here. Your race was, I mean, it was excellent. It was quiet. Didn't see you have to battle anyone. Like you said, you and Nuke got a good start. And so keep it up. It sounds like you've been working really well on figuring out the strategy that works for you so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And if you guys don't mind me taking a moment, I just want to express my condolences to the Bow family. And I'd also like to say thank you to this community for being so awesome. And I'm so glad to be a part of it, because just this last week and a half has been, just shows what kind of a community it is and why I want to be part of it. So thank you to you guys, T-Case, especially you, and McNaughty for all you're doing. It's great for you guys. Thank you so much.
Well said. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Caper. Some great words there. And yeah, of course, our thoughts towards PHG, Papa, and Susan and the family, of course. Yeah. Thank you very much, Caper. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you, how you get on next week.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, Caper. Bye. Okay, and finally, and not least, our race winner for today. It was S7R Nuke with a fantastic performance, second win in a row in season 6 for Division B. How are you feeling after that, Nuke?
I'm feeling pretty good. I do want to start where Caper left off there. Just Papa, been in our prayers. We've talked a good bit about you within the team, and we're just sorry for your loss. And well done to the league for appreciating and recognizing Susan.
Hmm.
As far as the race, it went as planned. Caper really did, really both of us a solid, but me in particular, by having really good racecraft there right at the start, and which allowed us to get that little breakaway, and just to be able to kind of run our race. I didn't know if he was on mediums or not, but took a couple laps, and I figured he was, but. Him getting us out there, he gave me a couple bumps right off the start and gave me room, as he said, into turn one, which just allowed us to get away from everybody and just kind of calm down and just run a nice, well planned race.
Yes, yes, definitely. I'm just thinking, I mean, so was it always going to be the no stopper? Did you have any thoughts about any other strategy? Was it kind of like what Caper said, that there wasn't too much of a difference in terms of pace between the softs and the mediums, and just the mediums being a lot more durable in the tires? What was your thoughts going into the race?
Yeah, I mean, through practice, Digital mentioned it. We'd done a good bit of practice this week. I was pretty committed to the no stop early. But I found some pace on my softs that I didn't have earlier in the week, which was really starting to make me think going soft. And we were talking right before the race, geez, if I start up front, should I start on softs? I don't want to get run over. I don't want to get in a mess. But just the last second, I said, "Okay, I'm doing it. I'm going to no stop," and I was shocked that I was able to get out front and stay out front. So it couldn't have worked out better. But I was committed, though. Patty will tell you, I was I was pretty committed early on in the week to go the no stop.
Okay,
Yep,
well,
that's
I
what I
mean,
was told.
sorry, Tati, go on.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying that's what I was told. No questions asked. Yeah, I'm doing no stop medium.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. I mean, you looked pretty comfortable once you had that race lead. You just went from strength to strength, and it was a real example of how to sort of preserve them tires and keep to a really good average pace there. So congratulations on a great performance and first place. And yeah, Tati, I'll hand it over to you then for questions towards Nuke, please.
No questions for me. Like I said, I knew what the strat was going to be. I didn't know that you actually had questioned it. Finding pace with the softs is good, like you said, but you started up front and obviously didn't get run over. So congratulations, 2 wins in a row. Just one more round. Just
I
one more
appreciate
round.
it. Thank you,
Yeah.
Teddy.
And TK, do you want to follow up to what Tati said?
Yeah.
And yep.
Yeah, congratulations, Nuke. I mean, back to back, that's looking pretty good for you. I'm curious, as far as qualifying went, did it go as you expected? Were you expecting to be at the top? Were you disappointed with your time, or were you pretty satisfied? I mean, obviously it put you on pole, but sometimes there's a little left in the tank.
Yeah, I did not expect to start at the top. I knew that depending on how you exited the pitch, you were either going to get 6 or 7 laps. So, I was able to get out first. And so I knew I was going to be able to run a seventh lap. So I pitted on my fourth lap for tires, which then allowed me to run that fifth and, well, actually sixth and seventh lap on, lower fuel and fresh tires. And so that's where I got the better time. It wasn't my personal best, but it was pretty close. I think the best I had done was a 34-1 in practice, which again I just found all that in the last couple of days just practicing with Digital. He showed me a couple things I was doing wrong, and the tents fell off.
It's awesome, and I love hearing that everybody working together, in the practice, and then when it comes time to race, gloves are off and rocking and rolling. But great job, man. I mean, that was perfection, is what that was today from you. So great job.
Thank you much.
Yeah, and just to lastly say, I mean, you've consolidated the position you find yourself at the top of the championship with the race victory today, of course. And yeah, for round 3, I mean, is there anything that you're looking out for? I mean, is there a particular combo that you really don't want to see, or what are your thoughts ahead of round 3? In terms of a combo?
Yeah, well, I'm figuring the next round is going to be our throw the kitchen sink at Saturday Div B round. So I'm expecting the worst. Um, I'm probably expecting rain. I personally don't like high downforce cars. I do really good in road cars and GR4s. I'm just average in everything else, just to be honest with you. So I'm hoping for something nutty and hard to drive. And I'm okay with rain, but that's what I'm hoping for, is just something, road carish again, or just something just unusual, kind of like, Friday's Div B was in that Bulgari car. I mean, I would have loved to drive that. So I'm hoping for something like that. I don't want to see what Friday Div A and Div B got, and the high downforce stuff. But I'm afraid we're going to see something like that either now or for the final, and that's not my strong suit.
Well, my thinking was maybe they had in Friday's race, so maybe it's the chance for Saturday to have something similar. But I guess we'll wait and find out towards the end of the broadcast. But yeah, absolute fantastic performance from you again, Nuke, and congratulations on your second win of the season. And yeah, fingers crossed for you in what is to come up for round 3. But we look forward to seeing you next week.
I appreciate it, guys. Watched the whole stream last night. The production was excellent. Good job, McNaughty, and good job to you guys today. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, definitely a great broadcast to start off this weekend, and you've continued that on with the performance from you in Division B for Saturday. So, yeah, congratulations to you, and thank you so much for your time, Nuke.
All right, have a great day, guys.
Take care, mate. Okay, so. Yeah, that was a fantastic race. We did enjoy today in Division B, and it's really shaping up to be a very, very exciting championship with yes, Nuke putting himself in such a great position, particularly when going into the finals. Looking strong for to be towards the top of the grid for the finals. But certainly behind is very nip and tuck, I think, and we'll see the standings of the of Division B to come after the break. But yeah, that is round 2 wrapped up for Division B. So we are going to head off for a brief intermission. So go and grab yourself a refreshment, and when we come back, we'll have the standings for Division B after 2 rounds, as well as our second round race for Division A. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back to part 2 of Saturday for our round 2 races. Before we get into our Division A race, let's take a look at the standings for Division B after 2 rounds. Tati, if you could read us through the provisional standings, please.
Here they come. Yes, we've got Nuke with Sector 7 Racing in first with 53 points. Capers in second place with 36 points. SRP's, Full Speed Racing's Mr. Racing 40 has got 33 points in third. In fourth place, we're looking at Digital Relay with 23 points. Beehive Racing's Pelias Pangolin will take fifth place with 20 points. Papa's House of Game Arrow is in sixth with 14 points. Roots in seventh with 13 points. And then you've got Victory in Performance Racing's Ace GT in eighth with 12 points. Again, BHR Johnny Boy in ninth with 6 points. In 10th, we're looking at Island Grown 777 with 5 points. In 11th, we've got Angry Fredburn with Left Lane Racing with 3 points. 12th place is Racer DM. It's Super Clean Racing in third, with 3 points in 12th. 13th place is Old Man Pip with 0 points, and RTS Bandit, who unfortunately I believe disconnected or got spun at least in this race with Left Lane Racing with 0 points. Yes, he did DNF in this race.
Thank you, Tati. So yeah, things really shaping up in Division B. But without further ado, I think it's time to introduce our last race for today. It's round 2 of Saturday Division A. So this time we head over to the beautiful Spa de Francorchamps in Belgium in this second round race in Saturday Division A. We have a 10-minute qualifier ahead of a 17-lap race with a full start check to begin proceedings. Track length is 4.35 miles with a total of 19 turns, and drivers will be using the Roadster Shop Rampage car. This is a 7-litre front-engined rear-wheel drive car producing 748 brake horsepower at 6,500 RPM, weighing in at 3,099 pounds in this naturally aspirated car. This Gran Turismo award-winning car needs to be respected with so much power to its rear wheels, especially if the weatherman has his prediction right with rain expected at some point, with just spools slicks available, which are the mediums and soft tires. Balance of power is enabled with no tweaks, stock setup. Tire wear is set to ×9 and a fuel consumption rate at ×1, with a refuel speed at 10 litres a second, with damage as always set to heavy. Now Tati, if you can remind us the point scoring system we have for this race.
So the winner will get 25 points for this race. Second place gets 18 points and third place gets 15th. We use the Formula 1 system where everyone in the top 10 gets points. And so 10th place will get the final single point and everyone below 10th will get no points. There is 1 point awarded for fastest lap, only if you finish in the top 10.
Thank you, Tati. And TK, if you can read us our Saturday Division A lineup, please.
Absolutely. We have PHG, Papa's House of Game Banana, and then we have the Beehive Racing J Dog, Beehive Racing Josh Moment. Then we have the Victory in Performance Racing DeCrawler, the Full Acceleration Force Bobajito, Full Acceleration Force Wade. Then we have Thelmora, K Naranjo, aka Oak, part of the Moose Mafia Racing. Then we have another Papa's House of Game driver with Lyric. Then we have Sector 7 Racing Rusty Maggots. Also our only British driver, the Kai. Then we have another Victory in Performance Racing Almost Podium and his teammate Cyrus Nicky GT. And another VIP, man, this is full of those VIP racers, Victory in Performance Racing, left to pass you. And you'll notice there on the right of some of their names, we have Twitch and YouTube handles. You can go check them out. Most of these drivers will be streaming, but please be sure to keep the main broadcast open so you don't miss any of the action.
Thank you, T-Case. So, this is a bit of a wild combination. We said it a couple of weeks ago when the combo first came up. Yeah, Tati, has your thoughts changed since then?
No, especially not since I dropped 300,000 credits to buy the car for myself. Because I mean, I can't resist a split bumper Camaro, first of all. But yeah, this thing is wild. 748 horsepower to those rear wheels, and not the stickiest of rubber, but man, it's going to be tough in the rain. Even in the dry, this thing is a handful. So drivers will have to be careful. But when you're okay with the throttle, it actually is a pretty good driving little car. Love the way it brakes. It handles pretty well.
Yeah, well, it's well, actually, TK, would you be able to read out the donation just come in?
A big thanks to Shaky Mark, aka Fernando Buttons, Happy Fun Time Hour Gaming, for the 5 gifted memberships. Big thank you, Fernando. We appreciate you, bud.
And yeah, and also just to keep you on the mic there, TK. So this car, I mean, is something that is right up your alley, isn't it? I think this is the perfect car that I think you'd be testing in your private lobbies and stuff. But what are your thoughts on the car and the combination?
Absolutely, I love it. First of all, spa. Love spa. And then this car is crazy. And Tati said it, like, it is a beast. It has so much power. Throttle control is key, and I love that they're using the sports tires in the wet. I get asked so many times, can you use sport tires? Like, why can't I use wet tires or intermediates? It's like, those are racing tires. These are road tires. This is what you would have on, if you buy yourself a nice BMW or Mercedes, you would get a set of sport softs tires on there, and they would drive just fine in the wet. They have the grooves. They're there to expel the water. You're going to be just fine. You just have to be a little careful. So I am super pumped for this combo. These drivers are going to have to be careful. And it looks like we got another $10 donation from Aero GT. Please support Lithograph Comics and all the other fine sponsors. Thanks for making the league even better. Yes, big thanks to all our sponsors out there, and also to Crawler back at it again with a $4.99. Good luck, fellas. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind donations there, which obviously does help for the driver pot and everyone associated with NRL. Thank you so much. Super, super kind. Yeah, it looks like the drivers are just getting out there then on their out laps to try and warm up them tyres. I don't think warming up the tyres will be a major issue, although what I will say is we can't really predict on the weather. Now, I'm sure all the testing that the drivers would have done over that 2-week break, they would have maybe experienced all types of different weather conditions and really tried to get to grips with the car. Now, the one thing that we're not really in control of is the wind direction and the wind speed. So, you know, what could be a fully wet race in one lobby session could be completely dry in the next one, depending on where the weather patterns are flowing towards Spa-Francorchamps. But certainly this is going to be very challenging for the drivers. It is really going to separate the men from the boys, I think. And yeah, I mean, Bobachido, of course, he did win in round 1 of Division A. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he can carry that form into round 2 in what is completely different cars. But of course, Spa, a fantastic location, full of trace, full of sharp corners, full of medium speed corners, and it's really going to test the drivers out there. And we're hoping it's going to produce some fantastic racing. But Bobajido off to a great start in NRL Season 6 for Division A. But yeah, that's it. I mean, this one's a really hard one to call, right?
Yeah, I'm like itching to see the actual race. I can't wait. You know, it is going to be hard to call, but I think there's going to be action everywhere. If it's not racing action, it's going to be oops, you did that wrong action. And so I just can't wait for us to get there. Right now, I think we're starting to see some of our out laps, or some, yeah, the all out laps right now. But I mean, even just starting a lap, right, coming out of the bus stop chicane is hell. Look at this. Look at last pass. Or actually, that was turn 1, right? Yeah, that was last pass.
That's awesome indeed. Yeah, it was yeah, it's very easy to lose the rear. You really got to be that smooth operator through the exits of the corners. I do believe we've got more donations.
Oh
from
yeah. Oh yeah. I think people got paid on Friday or something. I don't know. Because Digital Relay with $10. Good luck, Division A. Thank you. VIP Stroker Ace. Go Team VIP and the other racers. Cheers to the production crew as well. Stellar job. Well, thank you. And then we have Workman Racing. Let's go Team VIP. So Team VIP is heavy in the chat right now, y'all. So if you're a member of another team and you're in the chat, let's hear some love for these other teams. But good on you, VIP racers. This is great to see.
Indeed, yeah. Thank you very much for your generosity, and like I say, it's really going to help out everyone associated with NRL and raise the prize pool as well for the drivers. So thank you so much for your kindness. So yeah, it looks like a lot of the drivers now on their hot lap, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of pace they can get out of these cars. Now, of course, these cars, although they've got good speed, you know, they're not Group 3 cars, right? So you know, trying to stay consistent through the turns and get the maximum traction out of the corners is going to be tricky. And you can already see with the tire delta how quickly these tires are going to run down as well. So so yeah, it could be a case that they're just going to put in a hot lap, come back into the pits, get onto some new tires. But we're going to look on board with PHE Banana, because he's just in fact not setting a lap time, comes back into the pit lane, so that's quite interesting. But we go on board with the Crawler now then, who is just coming through the bus stop chicane. It looks like a lot of the drivers coming into the pit lane. So is it a case that you know, maybe they're just trying to run down the fuel and maybe get that one hot lap in, T-Case?
Yeah, I think that is, and they got to be confident, because as you know, the out lap around here is forever. So they're really only going to get one lap in if they're doing that strategy. We see that Kai had gone pole and then reset, so he's coming out with a full tank of gas, which is interesting compared to the drivers who dove into the pits, who will come out a little bit lighter and have some fresh tires. But this is interesting to see. This is a huge track and cars are all on top of each other. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I mean, Tassie, do you think TK says... sorry, do you think the guy has missed a trick here? Because obviously, yeah, it's good to set that banker lap, but could be a lot slower than the drivers that have kind of dispelled that fuel to go probably a lot quicker when they eventually put in their hot lap.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what was going on there, unless maybe there's something with timing, with the way, you know, with whatever time was left, and maybe you felt like you couldn't do an out lap, or an in lap rather, and an out lap, and just opted to reset. Thinks it's worth it, but it's not wet on track, so there's no real benefit to being the last on the track. It's not going to get any grippier, it doesn't seem like. So I'm not understanding what happened there.
I mean, so far the Kai has set, and I have to say, this is a very, very fast lap from the Kai. 2 minute 20.365. Pretty phenomenal stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see when that car is lighter, having less fuel on board, whether or not the drivers beneath can go quicker. One of them drivers, FAF Wade, who is actually not decided to do what some of the drivers behind have done. So is he going to come into the pit lane now, or is he going to come across the line? It looks like he's going to come across the line with dying soft tires as he comes across the line. Can he go quicker? No, he can't. Just over a 10th down on his previous best time. Will remain in P3. So they are back in the pit lane. I think they've just about got enough time to go on their out lap and then set a hot lap, but obviously they're going to have a full tank of fuel. As we look on board with Rusty Maggots now, currently P4. He's not able to improve, nearly 4 tenths down on his previous best. So I'm starting to see a bit of a pattern here, I think, TK.
Yeah, and it's, well, as we see Rusty go way wide, getting out of the way of DeCrawler, he answered my question. DeCrawler hasn't put in a time. He just starting his flyer, and I was like, oh gosh, now he's going to have this traffic in front of him. But clearly that is no longer the case. So clean air for DeCrawler as he comes up Rouge and Radion down the Camel Straight, and he is just flying. I expect big things from DeCrawler in this type of car. And going back to what we saw with the Kai, I wonder if he was just on such a good lap that he decided to finish it versus ducking into the pits. It might have been he was really feeling that lap and decided to stay out just a little bit longer instead of ducking into the pits and risking, this right here. This is DeCrawler's only chance to put in a lap time. So it's now or never for a lot of these drivers, and we're seeing no traction control, but he does have the ASM and steering assists on. So some interesting combinations of assists that we're seeing across the board from all these drivers.
Yeah, quite interesting. Of course, the assists are to be used, and certainly this car is not the easiest of cars to handle and keep pointing straight. Yeah, quite interesting, because I would have thought they wouldn't have been used in the TC because of the obviously the assists do slow you down. They keep the car stable, but it does slow you down. We did kind of briefly speak about this, where maybe using the assist was the right way in the race to try and preserve them tires, but certainly in qualifying I did not expect that. But the crawler at the moment, so yeah, as TK you mentioned, really does have to make this count. This could well be the only lap he's going to be able to put in as we come through Blanchimont and up to the bus stop chicane. So really does need to make this count as he goes into the braking zone. Can he get a good line out? It's looking very tidy at the minute. And as he swings to the outside line, he comes across the checkered line, and he's going to set a 221.477, who goes up into P2. Not quite quick enough for Kai, but we've got Felmora, who is just about to come across the line. That is going to be a little bit slower, 222.7. Rusty Maggot's not able to improve. Cyrus Nicky does improve, but only by 400th of a second to stay in P8. And then we've got Boba Gido, currently P3 at the moment, and he just picked up a half a second penalty, and I fear that may have ruined his final lap as he goes purple through sector 130.
Yeah, that was a shame to see. I know Wade is still trying to see if he can get something, though he's in traffic, but maybe that slipstream from left to pass you will do something. But he's in fourth, so he might jump up. I just have to say, I got to dispel a myth. Traction control or the assist, they don't slow you down. Not even TCS. It will cut power to the engine, obviously, if you lean on it. That's the point. That's the reason for it, and that could slow you down. But like in a straight line or anything like that where it doesn't cut in, it won't affect the car at all as far as speed goes. But it'll just cut in if you overstep.
Yeah, I mean,
better than spinning out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do make a very interesting point there, to be fair, Tassie, because it is a heated debate between the drivers. Does it really slow you down? Does it help? It is I would say is down to whatever the driver is comfortable with. As you
Right.
see, Wade actually improve on his previous best sector by a tenth, but he is drawing up to VIP left to pass you, and I think that is going to slow him down. It's rather unfortunate, especially with left to pass you picking up that track limit penalty as we go into the braking zone for the bus stop chicane. I do wonder whether or not that has cost Wade in improving on his lap time. He's currently P4 and he comes across the line and he does improve by 300th of a second. Bobagido not able to improve. However, Wade actually down into P5 now because PHG Banana with a last gasp lap up into P4. So very tight between the cars. I think that is all the drivers across the line now. So you know, my theory about the Kai, you know, maybe not doing what the Crawler did, well, actually it's paid off for him because he's got pole position, TKs.
He's got pole position by over a second.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I mean, we saw in Division B, it was all the way down to P13 within a second, and now we got a second gap between P1 and P2. That's something else.
That is definitely something else, and we'll give you the confirmation of the qualifying from Saturday round 2 in Division A. So just confirmation there that the Kai with just an amazing lap there, 2 minute 20.365, 1.1 seconds faster than the rest. So the Crawler being his nearest rival in second position, he'll be starting alongside Kai on row 1. Then it is FAF Bobagido starting from P3. Now this is where it is tight. We are talking 200th of a second separating the Crawler and Bobagido for third position for Bobagido. PHG Banana will start from P4 alongside him on row 2, and then on row 3 we've got FAF Wade starting from P5. Drawing alongside him will be S7R Rusty Maggots starting from 6th position. On row 4 we've got Oak and BHR Josh Moment starting alongside him in 8th position. On row 5, we've got VIP Cyrus Nicky starting from P9, 2,000th of a second separating Cyrus Nicky to the man alongside him, a VIP left to pass you. So, yeah, very, very close indeed. On row 6, we've got VIP Almost Podium starting from P11 with Felmora starting from 12th position. And on the final row, row 7, we have BHR J-Dog starting on his own in 13th position. So, yeah, Tati, yeah, that was a very interesting qualifying to say the least. But of course, we do have a 17-lap race here at Spa. So, you know, it's not really sealed as of yet. A long race ahead of them. You know, what are your thoughts ahead of this race to come?
Well, qualifying has been intense and very surprising as far as the Kai finding a second somewhere where no one else could, which is wild. But second through 10th place are all separated by less than a second. And so I expect some intense battling there, just time-wise. And we've got a couple of outliers, but, you know, we have rain, the great equalizer as well. So honestly, very little of this matters if Mother Nature wills it.
And yeah, you definitely did bring up a good point there, Tati, and a question I want to throw over to you, TKs, is yes, so we didn't see too much rain in qualifying, but we have got a long race in front of us. So if the rain does come in, do you think that is going to bring a big spanner to the works?
Oh, for sure. It's definitely going to adjust strategy because in my practice, I noticed the tire wear was so much less in the rain versus the dry. So the rain will allow these drivers to push the tires a little bit longer. It keeps them cooler, keeps them from degrading as quickly, but also it affects your braking points. It affects how gentle you are on the accelerator. We know these curbs get really, really wet, and this is a track that you like to abuse the curbs on for sure. So it's going to affect in a lot of ways. We'll just see how heavy it comes down. We saw high winds in qualifying. It looks like about 15-mile-an-hour winds during the race. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers do, and hopefully they prepared in all conditions and feel comfortable coming out on this track.
Yes, indeed. Well, I wish the best of luck to the drivers. I think this is going to be a very important race for the Kite, of course, who was very unfortunate in the first round where he was looking really good at the top end of the grid, made that mistake, only got 8th in the end, and round 2 is certainly going to be crucial for him, and definitely getting off to the right start for getting that pole position in qualifying. We're just awaiting the drivers to see if we can get this race underway, but they are literally just putting in their final checks and just maybe their final practice just to get acclimatized to the conditions and whatever strategies that they'll be going on. Yeah, in testing, something I did kind of experience was, I mean, the car is very difficult to control at the best of times, but again with this race, it's an open strategy. The sports softs and the sports mediums are available to the drivers. I mean, Tati, I know you said you practiced a little bit. You spent your credits. So what was the differences you felt between the two tire compounds?
I only tried the softs because obvious reasons, but I mean it's just going to take a little bit more discipline on the mediums, right? I was on the softs because everyone in the lobby was on the softs, and I didn't want to look any slower than I already was going to be. But I think I'm surprised to see even one person on the mediums. It looks like it's J-Dog, but most drivers right now are on the softs. Nobody can see that, but I can see what tires are on the track. I think everyone's expecting rain, and it's possible to go soft in the rain if that you can keep the track cool long enough. And obviously, everyone prefers that compound because it is that much quicker than the mediums in the sports tire category.
Yes, indeed. I mean, yeah, you definitely made a good point there, because that's something I experienced in my practice. So TK's the disparity between the softs and the mediums. I mean, in my testing, with a track as long as Spa, makes a massive difference. And what I noticed, it was quite a few seconds between each tire, and I really wasn't confident on them medium tires. Was you kind of experiencing the same kind of problems?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is, and especially with a track like you said this big, there's a lot of variance and elevation changes, braking zones, and when you have a tire that's slightly slower, it just is compounded every turn. And this track has a lot of turns, so it adds up over one lap for sure. I'm looking at the weather radar, and there's rain in the area. It's moving through, but I'm looking like we might get started on a slightly damp track, but with no rain, which is interesting. But the wind, with the wind as fast as it is, it's definitely there. And as we know, Spa in the forests of Belgium, it is known to just rain anywhere. And another thing with a track this big, and because Gran Turismo has such a great weather model, you can have rain in parts of the track and it be dry in others. So that's going to be another thing to keep an eye on as these drivers adjust on a track this big, whether or not, if they're on the mediums or the softs, how they're going to play it.
Yeah, you made a very good point there. Yeah, definitely one of the key features on Gran Turismo is the fact that the conditions on one part of the track can be very different on the other. So you might have a dry part at, say, the start finish line, but then the top of the hill you might have a very wet circuit, and really it's for the drivers to really acclimatize and get used to the different conditions on various parts of the circuit, try to really adapt to it and keep their focus. And certainly it's really throwing a lot of challenges for the drivers. But we are about to get our round 2 Division A race underway. We see some spots of rain hitting the ground as we await the 5 red lights. It's going to be the Kai and the Crawler to lead us away. And lights are out, and away we go. And Kai gets an excellent start, who has got the inside line. Bobagido in a bit of a sandwich, and Bobagido trying to go through the middle of them, and Kai gets shoveled out the way, and Bobagido up into the race lead. The Crawler also in a second position, but they are side by side as we go into All Rouge for the first time. Who's going to back out? It's Bobagido that backs out. The Crawler goes into the race lead. The Kai settles in P3, and we've got a gaggle of cars just behind as we're on the Camel Straight. We've got Oak and BHR, Josh Roman side by side, but Oak with the overspeed as he moves up into P5 and challenges Wade for that 4th position. We've got well, a lot of cars just behind, very, very close and bunched together, but it looks like we got through very cleanly. Rusty Maggot's up the inside. Oh, there's a slight bit of contact with Oak and Banana. Banana on Oak as Oak runs wide and loses a couple of positions down into P9 as Left to Parshu moves up into 8th position. But a very lively start we have here at the start of this one, TKs.
Yeah, indeed. We only have one driver on the medium, everyone else on the softs. J-Dog on the mediums, and you can see here as Oak goes in, and just the cluster, the accordion effect there as everyone tries to squeeze in and make it through. This is amazing that everyone made it up Eau Rouge and Radion, and only one driver got a penalty. I believe that was Cyrus Nicky ends up with a half-second penalty as they come up the hill, and you can see how tight it is. Incredible stuff there to keep it clean, because it is not flat out. It is not flat out like it is in a Group 3 car right there. You have to feather it. You might have to tap the brake, and we can see the Kai has made his way back up into P2.
Yes, we have seen that indeed. The Crawler streaking ahead though with the gap just under a second. So a lightning start for the Crawler. Oh, it goes a little bit deep though. That is going to compromise his exit out of the bus stop chicane, and the gap has come down to about 0.6 of a second. It looks like J-Dog has just left the lobby there for connection issues, I think. So really unfortunate, but yeah, the Kai really trying to apply that pressure to the Crawler, and he gets a good exit as well. So the gap is well, it's beneath half a second now as we come up the hill and through All Rouge. So that slipstream is going to be in full effect. I'm not 100% sure if he is going to be able to close the gap by the time we get into the braking zone of Lecomte. But yeah, certainly the top 2 drivers are streaking ahead, with Bobagido holding 3rd position, 1.1 seconds down, with Wade just behind the P4, and a big gaggle of cars behind from PHG Banana in P6, Rusty Maggot's P7, VIP Left to Parshu in P8, and then a little bit of a gap in between, so there could be a few battles going on. But what are your thoughts so far in this race, Tati?
So far, it's looking so good, but I'm so disappointed to see J-Dog disconnect. He was the only medium runner, and I wanted to see how it would work. I thought maybe he was going for like a no stop, you know. I think they can make it on fuel, if I recall correctly, and I wanted to see if someone could make that work, but he's gone. And so now everyone is on the softs. I don't think we'll see the mediums. Just the sports tires are so different from the racing tires. They're completely different compounds to the, you know, like real life counterparts.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, just as I thought, really, the medium tires just felt way too squirrely. I mean, at the best of times on the soft tires, you kind of have to be smooth, because if you get on the loud pedal too early and too hard, you can really make the rear end step out. So yeah, a bit of caution from the drivers, I think, and better to kind of keep on the grippiest of tires. But certainly very close between the top two drivers. It looks like Kai is not going away without a fight. Perhaps a little bit angry that he's lost that lead of the race, but sometimes it's good to be just behind, following the line of the car in front, as he gets the fastest lap of the race with a 2:20.808, so making up for lost time. But at the moment it's looking, like I say, very clean out there. I did see a car in the background go very squirrely. I think it might have been P9 there, but yeah, at the moment they are line astern then, and just focusing on the job in hand. As we look on the replay now, and I was correct, I think it was Oak, as we approach La Source for the third time of asking, as he went through the turn, tried to get on the power. Maybe it wasn't him, I don't know. I thought I saw a bit of a slidey moment from him. Actually, it was a pretty good turn from him. But he currently is in 9th position. But yeah, at the moment, nothing really to report. But we are only on lap 3 of 17. But TK, you're the man with the cam. So how's he looking on your end?
Well, Eau Rouge is brutal for at least one person each lap. I have yet to see anybody a lap without somebody getting a penalty, and this time it is the Kai with a half-second penalty in P2 chasing down the crawler. But unfortunately, he went out of track limits, and we're seeing that a lot. I've seen several drivers get that track limits penalty trying to navigate Eau Rouge and Radeon.
Right, okay, and we know about the Kai. Really needs to make this count, because of course disappointed with his overall race position in round 1, so he really needs at least a podium from this one. Grabbing that half-a-second penalty is not going to help his cause of tool, and the crawler will have a bit of a sigh of relief as Kai sinks down, and Bobagido will start to see Kai bigger in his front windscreen. There's Kai goes a little bit wide on the exit. Is that another track limit penalty for Kai? That looked quite strange, because he was a bit slow and deep on the brakes as well. Probably a bit of dirt on his tires, and Bobagido now can sniff the fear of the Kai just in front of him, who has had a couple of scary moments in that car, and the gap has come down to about 0.6 of a second as we come through La Source. And the Kai again going a little bit wide on the exit here, and he could be a little bit of a sitting duck as we come down the hill for Eau Rouge. And he's getting closer and closer to the back of the Kai, and the Kai may concede here, to be honest, as we come through Radeon now, and we approach Lacombe. I think he's just going to hold his nose in front of Bobagido to hold on to that second position, but certainly things are getting rather tasty at the top, Tati.
Yes, they are. The Kai just keeps getting he's making ground and then getting pushed back. I think we're going to see something if he can get it together. You can't overdrive this car. Obviously, he's got to get out of his head and into his body. Man, what a good looking race though. Look at these cars. These are hot.
Yeah, chef's kiss there. Certainly done a great job on them liveries. Almost podium. Unfortunately, finding himself at the back of the grid in 12th position, 6.7 seconds adrift of Felmora in P11 now. Almost podium, who grabbed 6 points last time out, has 10 points, of course 5 points for the qualifying, the pre-qualifying that is, and then 1 point from round 1. So finds himself in 10th position, needs a good performance from this one, otherwise he'll be under severe pressure going into the last round of the league phase. So yeah, not good for almost podium for the time being. But we are only a quarter of the way through this race, so a long way to go. The Kai still under pressure from Bobagido. Bobagido really taking the fight to the Kai to try and grab that second position away from him, but still pretty close between the three drivers. We are talking about just over 2.5 seconds separating them, as we've got a bit of a fight for P6. It looks like Banana is just holding off Rusty Maggots, but Rusty Maggots really trying to hound him down and put him under severe pressure as we come into the source. Banana has got to go very defensive on the inside and show the outside line for Rusty Maggots, but we still got Oak just behind and left to pass you. Actually, they were side by side, but left to pass you, just getting past Oak to move up into P8. Rusty Maggots kind of in that sandwich right now with Cyrus Nicky 2 seconds behind, but it's looking like, Oak's gone a little bit wide actually. That's going to give him a little bit of dirt on the tyres, but lucky that Cyrus Nicky is still about 2 seconds behind, but he has picked up a ½ second penalty for cutting a track limit, so he will sink down in due course, T-Case.
Yeah, that track limit penalty is getting everyone. As we take a look at the replay, we'll ride on board here. You see Oak there left to pass you. Oak takes the position, but just carries a bit too much speed, loses control, and runs wide on the exit, allowing left to pass you ahead and giving him a ½ second penalty, adding insult to injury.
Yeah, and that's how easy it is to kind of lose the rear end of the car. It's like the fine margins of controlling this car are absolutely insane, and the drivers really have to be on the limit and precise with their inputs. And unfortunate for Oak, slight mistake from him, and you can see now Cyrus Nicky starting to close in on him, and may well lose that position to Cyrus Nicky when he takes his penalty. But left to pass you, another one of these drivers as well really does need to get a good result in this one to take that pressure off going into the last round of the league phase. He's currently P13 with 3 points, he's got a certain tyre whisperer, Rusty Maggots, in front of him, who produced that audacious display of the nose stopper. I mean, surely, I think he's on the soft tyres, isn't he? So that is not going to happen, I don't think, Tessie, right?
Nah, no, I don't think so. And I bet these drivers are wishing for rain, because those softs are starting to look a bit worn out. And so I think we're gonna see stops sooner than later. But yeah, I think Rusty's gonna have to stop. This battle here, this is that whole mid pack that we were talking about in qualifying. I mean, it's produced exactly what we thought. These times were almost identical.
Yes, indeed. Well, certainly a man on the mission right now is the Kai. He is the fastest man on circuit, although in second position. But you can see he's closed that gap to the Crawler to within ½ second. So we know Kai has got the pace. It's just about his consistency and whether or not he can. Oh my god, he goes a little bit wiggly, and I fear for his life when that happens. But I think all the drivers are probably experiencing a few scary moments in this car, but certainly has really closed the gap to the Crawler. But we know that the Crawler is a man that can withstand the pressure. He did so well in the first round and was able to sort of make moves when he needed to. As he goes a little bit sideways through Pujon, and he just about holds on to the car there. And I mean, that is not going to do any favors to his tires either. But it looks like he's struggling, and this is the interesting dynamic as the laps roll on by on these soft tires, is just like how you can kind of adapt to the to less grip on them tires, TKs.
Yeah, and like Tati was saying, like these drivers are begging for some rain, because a lot of the practice I did, there was quite a bit of rain, and there hasn't been any rain. The track was wet when we started. It's been dry the majority of this race, and we're seeing the tire wear show as we see the battle for P6 there in the picture-in-picture. None of these drivers have much tire left, so I imagine we're going to see some people diving in the pits, and that's going to beg the question, do they go to softs for the remaining 10 laps, which they clearly aren't making it 10 laps on these softs right now? What are we going to do? I don't know. We might see a medium tire here as we see Banana go into the pit. Yep. Banana is in the pits. Oak is in the pits. This will be interesting to see if they. I can't imagine they go to the softs. There's too many laps left, right?
I think so. And see, this is when I wish that we would have seen J-Dog stay in, because this is when it would have been like, okay, was the medium worth it, right? So in real life, the sports medium is something like a good performance summer tire, a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, right? The sports soft is something like a barely legal semi-slick, almost racing tire that, you know, they say is quote unquote street legal, but it is a track tire. And that is two wildly different types of tire, but maybe the medium would have worked out for a no stop here. We don't need fuel.
Well, and on that, Banana comes out on the mediums. However, Oak comes out on the softs. So Oak feeling like he can make it work on the softs. Also, almost podium comes out on the softs. So Banana goes for the medium tire option for the remainder of this race. And if no more rain comes, I think Banana's made the right call.
Yeah, you could have a good point there. It's it's so. Well, what I tested out was, so if you look on Felmora's tires now, it's one thing to not have the grip on the fronts, but actually when it comes to the rear tires, once they get into that sort of 3/4 mark, that's where the car gets so sketchy. And at one point, like, it's almost uncontrollable. So with so much power going into them rear wheels. Certainly there is a few battles on the show at the moment. I'm quite intrigued to see what is happening with Kai and Crawler right now, because they are as close as can be. The Crawler dives into the pits at the end of lap 7. Then the Kai is deciding to stay on very worn soft tires, because I think Kai maybe I think this is really showing us their hand now, that I think Kai is looking to do the soft. It's going to be interesting to see if Crawler goes onto the medium tires, TKs.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. And the Kai, based on Bobajito, Wade, Josh behind him, he's got better tire wear than the rest of the soft runners. And the Crawler is coming out. The Crawler comes out on the soft, so the Crawler going softs. Cyrus Nicky just behind him, pulling into the pits. He's going to come out on the softs as well. So it looks like softs is where we're going for those drivers pitting on lap 8 and 9.
So still some hope for the rain, maybe?
And
sorry,
go ahead. No.
I was going to bring that point up. Are they seeing something that we can't see? You know, with the weather radar, maybe there's a weather front on the horizon. Maybe we will see a downpour, and they're anticipating that it's not going to wear the tires as much and deciding to go on the soft tires. But what are your thoughts, Tassie?
I think there may be hope, and that's why they're doing it. It doesn't necessarily mean that they can see it, right? We're not yet halfway through this race. Is that right? Is that math? Yeah, that's math. We're just about there. So there's still plenty of weather that you can't see. It's staying cloudy, so I think you have to take the gamble. Either strategy is a gamble, I think, right now.
Yes, indeed. And it looks like we got a donation just come in. TK, do you want to read that one out?
Oh yeah, this one is specifically for you, Flawed, from our very own MMR Moose, the proprietor of Moose Mafia Racing. $5. Just wanted to say hi to Flawed.
Hi.
Aww.
Thank you so much, Moose. Appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for your generosity as well. Of course, we'll go towards the driver pot and everyone in NRL. Thank you very much, Moose. Yes, so BHR Josh Moment, currently P4. Oh, he's got nothing on the front tyres. Oh, this is where the car is going to be almost impossible to drive as he struggles to stop the car and just about nips in front of Rusty Maggots going into the pit lane. And that was a prime example there, Tati, of how difficult that car can become to drive on worn tyres.
Yeah, man, that car didn't want to stop or turn. He was very lucky to, first of all, make it in without touching the line and picking up a 3-second penalty, and then didn't tap the car behind him. Someone was coming up behind him trying to get in the pits.
And yeah, quite a gaggle of cars going into the pit lane to change onto, I would imagine, fresh soft tyres. But TK, you're keeping a good eye on that one. Is that the case?
That is the case, and I mean, the crawler showing that the undercut did work, as we see VIP, Cyrus, Nikki, and Wade battling it up the hill. It is tight as some drivers coming out of the pits, other drivers finishing their outlap, and it is looking good coming down the Camel Straight. But most drivers on the softs. I see Banana is the only driver to have switched to the medium, but Banana did pit earlier than everybody else.
Okay, so yeah, interesting strategy. We'll see what happens here. Banana clearly feeling that he's comfortable on the medium tyres, but we know that there's a big difference in pace between the two tyres. It's not like racing tyres where, you know, maybe there's a second or so between the tyres. These are sports tyres, and the medium tyres have quite a significant less grip on them tires, but they do last a lot longer. So we'll see what happens towards the end of the race. It might be a genius move from Banana, but we look on board with Left to Pass You, who is trying to put the pressure up on Oak. Oak currently up into P6 then. Of course, all these drivers on fresh, soft tyres, and it's really about how they can preserve them and try to keep it as smooth as possible and no scary moments. And they look very tidy and feeling confident on these fresh tyres, but it could be a move coming up shortly, because Left to Pass You gets a good exit out of the Paul Ferrer corner and up to Blanchimont as we come swinging through the left-hander towards the bus stop chicane. He's still on his bumper as we go into the braking zone for the 9th time of asking. And can they get it stopped on a sixpence? Yes, they can. Synchronized braking from Oak and Left to Pass You, and they will remain in their positions currently right now. But we are talking about maybe just 2 to 3 seconds separating about 5 drivers right now, and all it takes is one slip up, and there could be a big change in the order, Tatu.
Maybe in the mid pack for sure, but in the lead, the crawler just picked up a half-second penalty with the Kai behind him. It's 3.5 seconds, but stuff like that may cause us to have a change for the lead, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a definite mind games going on here, and of course the Kai is going to have them pressure tyres because he did stay out a lap later. It might have been 2 laps. I think it was 1 lap though. So the gap is 3 seconds, but of course the crawler will have to serve that half-a-second penalty, and it's quite a vital zone, the penalty zone at Spa, because that is the section where you're kind of flat out. So that half a second will probably feel like more like a second or so. So we'll see as the times come down, but you can see that the gaps between the crawler and the Kai has come down before he's even served that penalty. So it is actually beneath that 3 second margin. Yeah, certainly could be a battle brewing for the lead of the race, but certainly it seems like we've got a battle going on for the mid-pack, TKs.
Yes, indeed. It hasn't stopped here with these drivers in the mid-pack between Oak, Left to Pass You, and Rusty Maggots. Also Josh Moment in the mix. battling it out hard, trying to get that P6 position. Wade has pulled a bit of a gap there, so Wade is safe in P5, but P6 definitely not safe. It is a four-way battle.
Yes, indeed, and I can just about see it there with left to pass you, the nearest to Oak, of course, but there is a gaggle of cars just behind as well. So this battle is going to rage on and on as the laps come down, but Oak just in front. And it looks like Rusty Maggers just about gets the car stopped because it looked like they were going to hit each other there, or definitely Rusty on left to pass you. So saving grace there, really good sportsmanship as well. But of course, Josh Moman almost went into the back of Rusty Maggots as Rusty Maggots took evasive action. So we will look on the replay now to make it a little bit clearer. But yeah, left to pass you was on the rear bumper of Oak, and as we went into the braking, so you could see it was a little bit later, and you could say maybe a bit of a dive bomb. Left to pass you clearly anticipated that move as he put his car a little bit wider through the bus stop chicane. And Rusty Maggots has picked up a half-second penalty as he tries to hold off Josh Bowman. He goes wide and cuts the circuit, and Josh Bowman up into P8, Tati.
Yes, left to pass you also has a half-second penalty, so both of them with half-second penalties picked up just a moment ago. I think we have a replay here showing what has happened with, I think this is left to pass you here. Yes, Josh Moment making a pass, but left to pass you way wide in Eau Rouge, rather at the Razion, so he loses the position and will lose more with that half-second because this path is really tight.
Yes, indeed, and this is where maybe we'll start to see quite a few mistakes creeping into their driving because yeah, as the laps tick on by, you know, do you know what? I think most of the drivers are going to stay on the soft tyres. But if the soft tyres get degraded enough, they might even think, do you know what? We might even go for another pit stop here. It's going to be very interesting here, but I kind of feel like the drivers thinking, look, there's 6 more laps to go, that we'll probably stay on these tyres, but then it is the fight the fight for survival there as left to pass you does take his penalty, and he does lose a position to BHR Josh Moment, who moves up into P7. Left to pass you down to P8, and then Rusty Maggots is going to close that gap to left to pass you to within 1.5 seconds. So the fight goes on and on between Josh Moment and Oak, fighting for that 6th position. But I mean, what do you do in this situation, Tati?
I don't know. I mean, the fight, it's a dogfight, right? But you can't get out of your head. This car gets so hard to drive when you go crazy with it. You have to find that zen. You got to get smooth with it, and just hope that you're in the right place at the right time when an opportunity comes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, because we say there's only 5-6 laps to go, but that is still quite a long time. We are talking like 12-13 minutes, so still a long way to go. I am curious to know what is going on with the race lead as well, because last time we left them, they were getting closer and closer. Is there any changes to that?
There's a big tire difference between the Crawler and the Kai, and the Kai has now brought it within under a second, and you can see it was just a 1 lap difference that they pit, but the Crawler's tires are looking a lot worse than the Kai's.
I'm surprised. It's almost like they're on different compounds. Like, it's bad. It's a big difference.
And this brings the point now. Obviously, it would be damage limitations for the Crawler, but with 5 laps to go, you know, if the tires are that bad, you know, you can't really survive out there with ball tires. So is it a case of the Crawler thinking, you know what, I don't think these tires are going to last, maybe for damage limitation purposes I pit for fresh tires and then maybe see if it can come up the field again and challenge as high up as possible, T-Case?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is a possibility. They have a good gap to Bobagito, almost 9 seconds there. But any time that he ends up losing is going to reduce that possibility. It didn't seem like too long of a pit stop here. So I mean, he's definitely going to lose some positions, but it might be better than what we saw with Josh Moment going into the bus stop before his pit stop and not being able to stop or turn the car.
And that really like begs the question then, because obviously we was talking about Banana, who was the only driver that decided to go onto the medium tyres. So as the tyres really do degrade in them soft tyres, you know, I think whereabouts is Banana at the moment, T-Case?
He's in P11, and just ahead of him, Oak has gone into the pits, and just behind him, VIP almost podium in the pit. So several drivers there in the back are realizing there's no hope in gaining any position on these worn tires. We're going to come back on fresh soft. So Banana just now getting ahead of Oak as Oak comes out of the pits. Banana up to P10 on those mediums. So he gained gained one position so far.
Okay, and so obviously, yeah, we can see the tire delta now. I mean, actually, he has more worn tires than I was expecting, but of course, them tires are going to degrade slower than the soft tires. So maybe Banana has got a chance at least to start catching up to the drivers. You know, maybe get into that mid pack. Do you reckon, Tati?
Maybe. I was surprised to see how worn his tires are, and they haven't been like that for a few laps now. But I think we may see more of those soft runners either pit or, yes, we'll see their tires really fall off a cliff. Maybe in comparison to the way the mediums work, they'll fall off that cliff very quickly. We only have like 5 laps left, 4.5 rather. So it's either or.
Well, we got side-by-side action with the crawler and the kites. The kites really closed that gap, but had to back out to give the crawler the space to definitely don't go into one through Blanchimont. So does lift off to allow the crawler to take the racing line as we go into the bus stop chicane. And you can see the crawler really struggling on them soft tires. The Kai looking a little bit more composed at this stage as we come across the line to start lap 14 of 17, and you know, it's just the corner goes a bit deep though. Kai is going to cut back on him, and I think, do you know what? I think he's played the smart game here, because you really don't want to be in the lead like on this straight part. So the Kai will you know, tuck back in second position up the hill through All Rouge and try to get the best run out of All Rouge onto the Kemmel straight. And well, it looks like the crawler is going to go into the braking zone in front of the Kai, but it's certainly now you're starting to see the nerves of the crawler and the Kai being in that advantageous position there, Tati.
Oh yeah, and I think the Kai has probably figured out that the crawler's tires are worn, because he's not pushing it. He's not, you know, diving. He doesn't see any need to. He knows he's going to get him. He's got some time, and the crawler is just trying to defend at this point. But I think it's just a matter of time.
Okay, and yeah, and then certainly as the race does draw to a close, we see VIP Cyrus Nicky now in P4, but he has got Wade hounding him down in 5th position. So certainly very close between the two drivers. But yes, certainly I have noticed with the tyre delta that them soft tyres are starting to die on these drivers. But yes. I mean, are we seeing something for the race lead here, TKs?
Yeah, it's going on multiple parts on the track. I do want to point out that Wade actually did get ahead of Cyrus Nicky going into Lacombe, but Cyrus Nicky played it smart and was able to take the position back as Wade went a bit deep. And you can see there in the picture-in-picture, the battle for P1 is still on with the Kai just behind the crawler, still not able to find his way past. So we got 2 tight battles here in the top 5, and not too far behind. You see there, P6, 7, and 8 are all in it together. So this is great, shaping up for a very exciting ending where we won't be able to watch it all, but we're going to do our best.
It is sunny out there. Note, not right here because it's shade, but watch as they get past the chicane. The sun is out. The sky is blue. It's nice out there. By the way, Banana pitted and put on a pair of softs or a set of softs. It's too little, too late, but he did pit about a lap or two ago and change on the soft tires. So he sits in P12 now.
So unfortunate for Banana, not the tire whisperer I thought he was there. I thought he had a genius strategy pick there, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, these cars really do eat away at the tires. But we certainly have got a three-way battle between Josh Moment, Left to Pass You, and Rusty Magus at the back of this train. And well, I mean, I would actually rather be in Rusty Maggot's position here because you know, you're kind of trying to psych out the two drivers in front and try to pick your way through. But yeah, certainly with Left to Pass You, his tires are not looking good, I have to say, Toti, because with what, 2.5 laps left, you know, he's going to have to hold on to them soft tires. And oh, we got side by side in front. We got side by side Simon Snicky and Wade, and it looks like Wade has taken that position away from Simon Snicky to move up into P4. Did you see that at all, T-Case?
Yeah, I mean, they've been battling it out this whole time. We're going to take a look at the replay here. You can see Wade going up on the inside of this very long, slow right-hander. He goes too deep. That's allowing Cyrus Nicky to fight back, but Wade is going to be on the inside here, and just nothing that Cyrus Nicky can do as Wade puts his car in just the right spot and takes the position.
Okay, so things starting to hot up between P4 and P5. We've got the Kai, who at one point was very close to the crawler, but now is 1.3 seconds down on the crawler. Now, this is going to be a very intriguing situation because we know that the crawler has got worse off tires than the Kai, and actually, look, as we go into the bus stop chicane, he does close the deficit by a couple of tenths of a second. But the crawler, well, I mean, he's really got to manage them tires, because even the Kai's tires, who at one point was looking much fresher, now getting into that danger zone when you've really got to really try to hold on to the car there, because yeah, you know, once they get in that window, and you can see a lot of the drivers, Josh Moment included, in 6th position, where it is a fight for survival, Tati.
Oh yeah, I mean, Josh Moment has got all of this stuff going on behind him, and he probably can't tell who's got what going on. He just hopes they're gonna fight back there. We're last lap, second to last lap, rather. It is just about survival at this point, except for drivers like the Kai and I think Cyrus Nicky, who maybe wants his position back. Oh, and Rusty is obviously still battling it out for P7 with Left to Pass You. In fact, they're side by side right now. If we go to P7 going into Lecombe, yeah, Left to Pass You manages to hold on to it. Rusty looking for some sort of cutback. He's not able to get the track position he needs. Left to Pass You's got that Camaro or Firebird, I don't know which one it is, in the right place. But Rusty all over the back of him. He probably realizes these are my last chances. I got to make something happen. As Left to Pass You goes wide into the hairpin, and Rusty is going to easily hug that inside line and take the position away. That's the end of that fight, I think.
Yeah, it's looking like oh, the corner goes deep. I go deep, and the Kai up the inside will take the race lead then. And this is something that I was trying to get at, that you know, the Kai tire's not looking good, but the crawler, he's got nothing left on them tires, and as he tried to stop the car, just wasn't able to do so. As we went into the braking zone for Pujon, oh, was there a little bit of contact from the Kai though, which sent the crawler wide? You know, maybe a slight mistake from the Kai, or I don't know, maybe the crawler got on the brakes a bit too early, but there was contact, and that was how the Kai managed to slip up the inside with the crawler going deep. And yeah, something maybe the stewards may look at the end of the race, but at the moment the Kai has got the race lead ahead of the crawler. Now the crawler is trying to fight off Bobajido, because Bobajido has got the overspeed as we got through the exit of the bus stop chicane, but the crawler will have the inside line, but Bobajido later on the brakes. He's going to be tight, but Bobajido around the outside does move up into P2, and the crawler sinks down to P3. T-Case.
Yeah, indeed. Exciting stuff going on all over the place. Cyrus Nicky has fallen back to P7 and has dove into the pits. He ran out of, or was about to run out of fuel. He didn't have enough fuel for this final lap, nor did he have any tires. So Cyrus Nicky in the pits along with Felmora and left to pass you. I think the dryness of this race has left a lot of drivers hung out to dry, if you will.
Yeah, so and this was something that we didn't see coming, because a lot of the practice sessions, I'm sure the drivers weren't anticipating. Okay, talk us through that.
Right, the Kai has a half-second penalty up front, and he's going a little bit wild, so there's a chance here. Bobajido, a chance for the win, actually. No way.
What? Well, Bobajido's got nothing on his tyres. The Kai has got that half-a-second penalty, but is Bobajido's tyres going to last till the end of the lap? He's going to have to be take it so gingerly through these corners. The Kai also struggling as well on the exit of Puron, and Bobajido is going to have the overspeed. Is he going to get the car stopped in time? Just about. Oh, but he still takes the outside line to move up into the race lead on the final lap of the race. He knows the Kai is going to serve that half-a-second penalty, and it's just about Bobajido bringing the car home to grab the race victory. Is it going to happen or not? We're going to find out, because the Kai goes squirrely in the background before he's even taken his half-a-second penalty. He does serve it now. Bobajido in the race lead. The crawler is trying to hold off FAF Wade to hold on to that podium position, but the crawler doesn't have anything left on them tyres. Wade has got nothing left on them tyres. It is the fight for survival here, and it looks like Wade has stolen that position away from the crawler to move up into P3. Bobajido does go around the final corner to win round 2 in Division A Saturday, with the Kai finishing in second position. Wade goes deep, and the crawler comes fighting back. Can the crawler come back? And I think Wade is just about going to hold on to P3 ahead of the crawler in P4, and Rusty Maggers got very close to the pair of them, but he finishes in P5. P6 went to Oak. P7 will go to Josh, but as he gets a little bit wiggly, but I think he's doing that on purpose. He finishes in P7 with Cyrus Nicky finishing in 8th position. And yeah, I mean, we've got the final drivers coming through. I don't think there's going to be any more drama, so VIP Almost Podium will come home in 9th position ahead of PHG Banana in 10th position. But wow, what a phenomenal race that was, and there was action and drama all the way to the end there, Tessie.
Oh my God, yes, that was insane. Did you see the crawler's tires? The crawler came in on the rims. The crawler came in on the valve stems. Like, he had nothing left on those tires, trying to see if he could get P3 back when Wade went wide. Wow, what a finish. Lap 17. So many surprises. The Kai still can't buy a win. It looks like Bobajido with the unnecessary pass just to like really assert dominance. That was insane. I loved it. Best last lap we've had so far.
100%. And I will get your thoughts very shortly as well, TKs, but let's just read you through the provisional Saturday round 2 Division A results. So it was FAF Bobajido who indeed grabbed the race victory, his second race victory in a row surely securing his position to the Division A finals. He finished just under 3 seconds ahead of the Kai, who did get the fastest lap time with a 2:19.9, which is absolutely insane, but a massive drama at the end there, of course, with FAF Wade getting the last step on the podium just in front of the crawler. It was so tight. S7R Rusty Maggots finishes in P5, and do you know what? He was probably thinking, you know, if I had a couple of more corners, maybe I could have got the podium there, but he will have to settle in 5th position. Then in 6th was Oak, with a fine display from him. 7th went to BHR Josh Moment, and VIP Cyrus Nicky in the end had to concede and finish in P8. VIP almost podium finishes in 9th position. PHG Banana finishes in 10th position ahead of Pelmora in 11th. VIP left to pass you in 12th position in the end. Sad to see him as far down as that, with DNF for BHR J Dog. But yeah, T-Case, I nearly lost my voice at the end there. How are you feeling after that one?
That was awesome. That's what Spa does. That's what NRL does. That's what using these non-traditional cars does for you. It makes for some great racing. And man, the FAF boys coming at you hard there at the end, making moves, both of them moving up to get onto the podium. That was, whew, I like that.
Yeah, indeed. Did like that. It was, well, I mean, we was told in the background that that was going to be a very lively race, a very exciting one. Didn't expect it to be that dramatic at the end. Yeah, I was warned that I was probably going to lose my voice. I'm quite proud of myself that I just about hung on to my voice there. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic race, and we shouldn't be surprised. NRL always provides the best action, so great job from the Division A drivers. And we're going to get to interview our podium finishers from this race. So we, I think we've got 2 of the drivers in at the moment. So I think we're going to go to Wade first. Who finished in 3rd place. You can see how happy he is in the background there. It was a phenomenal performance from you. Nerves are still at the end, it has to be said as well. Congratulations on your 3rd position. How are you feeling after that?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I didn't think I would do anywhere near that well, and also to see Boba get the win was big. That was awesome. Love it.
I mean, I'm going to have to ask you this, because we knew that the car was really hard to handle, but the ever-changing conditions in the race may have been different to what you practiced. Was you expecting the tires to run down as much as they did towards the end of the race?
Well, it could have gone a bunch of different ways, and most of the time it seemed to rain enough to where it wouldn't come to that, but I knew that was a possibility, so I ran like traction control 1 the whole time, no matter what. I ran like, active stability management and counter steer assist. I feel like that helped a little, and then I knew when I had to get 9 laps for the last stint, I just had to baby those things. Yeah, and I was thinking about it the first stint, but with the little bit of water, but the light gas, I feel like helped a lot for the second stint. And mediums, I felt were just not an option. They were just slow.
Yeah, we was kind of thinking the same in commentary as well. And I think, to be honest, I think that as we said in commentary in the final couple of laps, it was the fight for survival. I think it wasn't just yourself, Wade. I think there was quite a few drivers that were struggling towards the end. So congratulations to you on that third position. You must be hugely relieved. And well, I'm going to come to Tatty with Tatty's thoughts and questions towards Wade. So Tatty, if you can ask away, please.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Wade, how's it going?
Hey, good. What's up?
Good. Welcome to the podium. You almost made it last time. You made it this time around. I think the great thing about this race is that everybody was expecting rain from all the practice, and it never came. And that threw tire strategies right out the window. Do you feel like this race still played to the strategy you had in mind, or did you have to be creative and figure something out?
I think it did help me, Boba and I. We were also fast when it was really wet. Like I was probably naturally faster in the wet, but
Mhm.
we were ready for this to maybe happen like this. So I feel like it kind of played to us a little bit.
Got it. You guys obviously made the best of it. You ended up on the podium, got a win for the team. It doesn't get any better than that. Congratulations.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
And T-Case, your thoughts and questions to Wade.
Yeah, Wade, awesome job, man. Just tell me about that last lap. I mean, nobody had grip. You were fighting for it. You saw Bobagito up in the P1. Podium was there. What was going through your head?
I was thankful that there was nobody that close behind me. And like I knew like getting around Crawler might not be easy because I know he was limping, but I was starting to limp pretty bad myself. So yeah, and then that last chicane, I was just like, get stopped, make it, but I went way deep anyway.
Yeah, it made it exciting. We weren't sure if Crawler was maybe able to fight back there going into the chicane there, but I mean, you pulled it off, and you can tell that you and your teammate there were practicing quite a bit. Great job, and congratulations on the podium.
Oh, thanks so much. I'm thrilled to be here. This is awesome.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Wade. I mean, continuing on your fine start to the season. So you're almost kind of guaranteed that final position. You just need like a solid result from round 3. Are you feeling confident ahead of what's to come? I know we don't know the combos, and maybe you can give us your thoughts on what you'd like to see in the combos coming up for next week in round 3.
Not that I'm hoping for it, but I feel like we're due to drive a rocket. So that's what I'm expecting, some kind of rocket.
Well, Minolti is full of surprises, so we'll see what happens. But congratulations on a great performance from you. It definitely worth checking out the on-demand past broadcast because it was an epic battle at the end. So congratulations to you, and thank you so much for talking to us as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Wade.
I'm checking Brand Central for rockets right now.
There is one in particular I'm thinking, but I digress. So we are going to interview then our race winner, second win in a row. Bobagito, how are you feeling after that one?
Hey, I'm feeling lucky. Lucky as all get out. I can tell you that. I wasn't the fastest driver today, but got lucky at the end. So, happy to be here. Wife's a little upset at me. I keep popping champagne all over the room here.
Hey. That's what we love to hear. Well, Bobagito, I mean, what can I say? It was a dramatic ending to the race. And, tell us your thoughts going into the race, because, again, in practice, I think a lot of the drivers would have practiced and experienced quite a bit of rain. But this race was very different. Was it a case of thinking, okay, we might have to change up the tire strategy here? Because worryingly, getting towards the end of the race, them tires were just burning out. What was your thoughts? Going into the race and then towards the end of the race as well.
Yeah, I thought for sure we were going to have monsoon. I've seen lobbies that were you could basically no stop on softs because it just rained so much, and so it was a little bit surprised that it didn't really come down on us. And I'm sitting in P3. I don't know how far people are in front of me or behind me. I know I couldn't really see anybody in front of me or behind me, so I just started. All right, I'm gonna save my tires now and maybe have something at the end. And I think even though I had a little bit at the end, they weren't burning up in temperature, and I was able to make that last little push there to get by the burning up tires that the crawler and the Kai had. So yeah, lucky. I wasn't the fastest driver, but it just got lucky.
Well, was you surprised though that they were really struggling at the end there though?
I was a little so I was assuming the crawler was going to have trouble because he pitted a lap earlier than I did, and me and Takai and when they started really pulling away from me, uh, I was like, okay, you all go ahead, get your tires hot, hopefully you burn them off, and I'll just sit back here in P3, and I'm content with that. And I never would have expected to come out in P1 at the end. So again, lucky.
Well, I mean, sometimes you earn your luck, and certainly I feel like that was the case in this race. So congratulations on that first place and on a great performance from you. TK, any questions, any thoughts towards Bobagito?
Yeah, Bubba Cheeto, welcome back. This is getting to be pretty normal for you. Congratulations. I know you were
Thanks, buddy.
saying, yeah, of course, you were saying, P3, not sure, just kind of put your head down and do your thing. You made a very impressive overtake there at the end, even though the Kai had the half-second penalty. Did you just feel like you had to get it done no matter what? You weren't going to rely on that penalty?
I honestly, I just when I was going around with pull on right, I shifted it up early in the fifth gear, and when you do that coming around that turn, it really just really cocks your car, sideways, right? It really jolts it to the left coming around that turn. And when I did that, I still had plenty of grip and didn't lose any speed. And he hadn't. I don't know if he hadn't shipped up in the fifth yet, but that's what gave me that run on the outside of him after that. And yeah, it just got lucky there. And I was surprised I caught him so quick too. I thought he would have just the same or better tires than me, and he may have, but maybe that half. I don't know if he got off to get that penalty. Maybe he got a little dirty tires and it slowed him down a couple turns for me to catch him. I don't know, but yeah, lucky. That's all I can say.
You did a great job. Clearly, the practice paid off. Congratulations on yet another victory here.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I do want to give a shout out to PC Papa, rest in peace, Susan, and you all did a great job, and then NRL and McNaughty for hosting, and congrats to my teammate Wade for getting the podium.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words, and our thoughts are, of course, with Papa and the family, of course. But Tati, any questions? Any thoughts towards Bobagito's performance today?
Hey, Bobagito, here you go again, coming through here with the sort of end of race pass for a win. I was actually going to ask about the pass on the Kai. I thought you were just trying to
Gotcha.
assert dominance on that one, but you got me. Thank you, TKs. So I guess I don't really have a question. Man, here you come, a second win in the Saturday Division A. I guess this move is what you needed. You just got one more round. Do you have any wishes for what you'd like to see next round?
I hope it's the slowest car, like a minivan on Brands Hatch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Samba buses.
Let's do it. Samba buses at Miyabi. Let's go.
No, I don't care. Whatever. It's always fun, no matter what the combo is. So excited.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you and see how well you do. I don't think we ever got our third podium. We never got the Kai in here. So, Flawed, I send it back to you.
Thank you, Tessie. Yes, it's a shame that we can't get the Kai's thoughts there because, of course, he was part of the dramatics at the end there. But yeah, Bobby G, though, it was a fantastic win. You know, as you said, you might have been lucky, but you kept your car there and you took full advantage when them opportunities came up. So, you know, congratulations on a fine performance. We do hope that it will be something slow because, you know, predictions ahead of round 3 are basically saying that it could be a rocket ship. So we will see what comes of it. But, you know, definitely kick back, relax, and you know, I think you're pretty much safe in securing your position into the finals for Division A. So yeah, have some fun for next week, and we look forward to seeing how you get on in round 3.
All right, thanks. Appreciate y'all. Cheers.
Thank you, Bobby Gito. Take care. Okay, so that was the thoughts of 2 of our top 3 drivers in that race. You know, again, the NRL just keeps getting better and better, isn't it? The race was absolutely fantastic, and yeah, definitely got myself, Tassie, and TK's off the edge of our seats, and not for the first time, I think. So, yeah, congratulations to all the Division A drivers for today. And yeah, with both races completed, we're going to go for a short break. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll round off the provisional Division A standings, plus what you've all been waiting for, the race combos for our third and final round for Saturday Division A and B, for the league phase, that is. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2. Welcome back, everyone, to the final part of this broadcast. Hopefully you're ready for what's to come. But before we get into it, a huge thank you to DGDR, Dumb Guys Do Racing, Henke's Tavern, Little J CPA, Lithograph Comics, and Mist Chronicles for all their support throughout Season 6 of the NRL. So let's reveal the provisional standings for Division A after 2 rounds. T-Case, if you can read us through the standings, please.
Yes, here we are. We're at the end of round 2 for Division A, and we have with a commanding lead there, FAF Bobajito with 55 points. Then in P2 we have DeCrawler, 35 points, followed by Wade with 32 points. Then we have in P4 the Kai with 28 points. In P5 we have VIP Cyrus Nikki GT with 24 points. Then we have in P6 Rusty Maggots with 23 points. Then with 21 points coming in at P7 BHR Josh Moment. And then in P8 we have K Naranjo aka Oak with 13 points. P9 we have Lyric with 9 points. P10 Banana with 8 points, tied with VIP almost podium there with 8 points in P11. VIP left to pass you in P12 with 3 points, and we have Thelmora P13 with 3 points, and BHR a J-Dog in P14 with 3 points.
Thank you, T-Case. Okay, so now on to the exciting part. What's in store for Saturday drivers in our season? The division last race. Firstly, let's take a look at round 3 in Saturday Division B. Oh wow, okay, it's more rain on the horizon, and as you can see we are at the Nürburgring endurance layout. There is going to be a 20-minute qualifier ahead of this 4-lap race. Now they're going to be using the SLS AMG GT3 2011 car, so that's the older version of the AMG car, with a grid start and full start check to start proceedings. Now the tyre wear is going to be ×3 with a fuel consumption rate at ×3. The refueling rate is 10 litres a second. The time rate, because of the weather, is set to ×10. We're going to start off with R07, and then there's going to be a random slot for ×3, so anything can happen afterwards. With the car, of course, it will be balance of power enabled with just the brake balance to be tweaked, and the tires available are going to be the racing softs, the racing mediums, and the racing hards. No strategy required, or no tire mandatory. However, I do suspect that they may well be using the intermediates and the wet tires as well. So T-Case, well, I love Nürburgring. They're in a great car as well. What are your thoughts on this combination?
I've slowly grown to appreciate this here track, begrudgingly, but I have all the confidence in the world in these drivers. I think this is a really good, steady car to be driving. Obviously, we're going to be starting off in the wet, and then from there, who knows what happens. So this will be fun to watch. I'm definitely excited to see it.
I see you was laughing in the background there. So what are your thoughts on this combination?
Sorry, I was just laughing at the way he said it. You can tell when somebody is gritting their teeth through like Nürburgring. Welcome. This is the best track in the world. It is. Passing is hard. Just driving it is hard. Existing upon it is hard. And so doing so in the rain with the big old V8 up front and the rear wheels driven is going to be quite a challenge. Those random weather spots, though, are totally gonna. It means strategy is gonna be so hard to figure out. I love it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is the best circuit in the world, and it's always fun in the rain, and they're certainly going to have a tough task in getting around this iconic circuit. So best of luck to Division B drivers for round 3. But what is coming up for Division A? Oh, okay. And I kind of predicted this a little bit, but Division A are at Sardinia Windmills. There will be a 10-minute qualifier ahead of this 24-lap race. Now, as you can see in the background, they are using the NSX Group B rally car. So that means that pretty much all the settings are turned off. It's going to lead with a grid start with full start check enabled. But yeah, no tire wear, no fuel. Balance of power is also turned off. Just brake balance is allowed with torque distribution as well. The time rate will be at ×8, but no damage, random weather, and just the dirt tires at their disposal. So, Tati, what are your thoughts on this combination for Division A?
Oh man, we saw last night a crazy rally race and learned a little bit about what it took to even be consistent in a rally circuit race. This is going to be tough, especially this being a mid-engine car. I don't really know how you maintain a good, rally-worthy drift in a mid-engine car consistently, at least. So a very, very interesting battle here, but I guess it's only fair since Division A of Friday had to deal with it.
Yes, indeed. And TK, your thoughts on this as well?
Yeah, to piggyback off what Tati was saying, I guess the torque distribution is going to be key here, with this being the mid-engine car, how these drivers apply the power, and perhaps they'll be switching throughout the lap or throughout the race, figuring out where the power needs to go. But I do enjoy, of all the rally tracks, this is my favorite one. Should be interesting to see these Division B drivers after they had their traditional Group 4 race this week. See how they handle this rally race.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, just to confirm to people in the chat, this is for Division A, not Division B Saturday. So just a slight graphic mess up there, but yes, it is Division A that this race is for. So yeah, very interesting combo. Like I say, I kind of predicted, I thought, well, maybe Saturday will mirror what Friday did this week. But yes, coming up next week, we have the final round of the league phase. Firstly, round 3 of the Friday heats on Friday, the 24th of October at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, hosted by our wonderful Toon Slow-Mo, and I think Leo, or possibly Hovercraft, lurking in the background should Leo not make it. But please do make sure you pencil that one in your diaries, certainly not to be missed. And then following on from that, you'll be able to join us on the Saturday heats of myself, Lord Genius Gaming, T-Case and Tati, the following day on Saturday the 25th of October at 1 p.m. Eastern time for our 3rd round of the Saturday heats. So make sure, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing, and please hit the like button to help spread our content across the whole of YouTube. We gratefully appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so what a dramatic end to round 2, and I think overall in both races we saw a fair share of action. But I would say, firstly, TKs, who is your driver of the day, and what are your final thoughts from round 2?
I am going with Bobagito. I thought that was fantastic. Right there at the end, kept it all out there, and pulled off another victory to lead the Division A over both days, Friday and Saturday. So Bobagito is going to be it for me. As far as the racing goes, that was fantastic. That was clean. It was hard. There was action the whole time. We saw drivers having to change their strategy, and I loved it.
And yeah, Tati, who is your driver of the day, and what are your final thoughts from round 2 today?
I'll be honest, I can't pick one single driver. I think both races were fantastic. I say everyone is the driver of the day because you guys put on quite a show, both Division A and B. They make us all three of us, look fantastic because there's something to talk about, right? So, thank you guys for being the driver of the day.
That's good call. That's good call. I mean, if I was to give a drive of the day, and I'm not being biased, but I just think it was really important for him to get a really good result, when he was a little bit disappointed from the last round. So my driver of the day is going to be the Kai because he got the fastest lap. He made, I wouldn't say he made a mistake. I think it was just very tight at the top at the start of the race. But obviously did really well to hang on to them tyres at the end and secure that second position and really put him in a good position going into round 3. So Kai is my driver of the day from Division A. It was an absolute fantastic week of racing, both Friday and the Saturdays. And I think that really wraps up Saturday round 2. So it's been a phenomenal week, and hopefully we'll see you all in a week's time, which I'm sure would just be as enthralling as today. So make sure you tune in, and I'll say a big thank you to you, Tatty, and T-Case for joining me today. So until next week, it's a goodbye from T-Case.
Later, y'all.
And it's a goodbye from Tatty.
See you all.
And it's a goodbye from me. Stay safe, take care, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.